What's up? Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. That
All right,
mic is clear, bro.
dude. Trying to make sure I guess we're all leveling up, right? Leveling up the production, as they say.
Facts. I gotta get Joe a mic because I've heard a few people say like he sounds muffly. And when I listen
Yeah,
back, like I don't notice it until I pay attention and I'm like, I can see where you're coming from. But it doesn't sound bad to me. It's just that when you compare it to like the other mics, right? You know,
that's what
I,
that's
cause
what
I,
I was gonna. Yeah,
uh-huh.
that's what I was gonna say because I feel like it's fine. The problem is just because everyone else is mic'd up, his audio sounds. You can tell that his audio is worse. You know?
Yeah, right. But you could just do like one of those earphones, right? Can't you plug like an earphone into it?
Yeah, yeah. I
Mm.
think Stu uses that sometimes too, like a
Yeah,
$20
I think
headset or
so.
something. You know?
I'm a I'm gonna look for some on Amazon and send it to him.
Yeah.
He be getting
Something, something,
comfy though.
something, something he can lay down, because you.
Exactly. And that's my point because I know he gonna hit that little lay down action. But,
I think someone commented, and I think one of the recent snaps it was like, "Oh,
yeah, I
Joe's
saw.
laying down like they're painting him like Mona Lisa or something."
That's his thing. He be getting comfy. But let me pull up some of Ken's. You posted some pics, right?
Yeah, I posted today.
I have no clue who's gonna be on, bro, because nobody really been confirming. I just send a link to everybody, send a link to the guests, send a link to backup guests. I'll be sending out like 12 links. That's how you gotta do with podcasts, bro, because you don't know who's gonna show. So it's like
You don't know who's gonna
if
show up.
bro, if you just send links to four people, you ain't gonna have a podcast. It's impossible. You literally gotta send it. But that's why sometimes there be mad people on because I might send 8 links, get 4 people. But sometimes you send 8 links, you get 8 people.
8 people.
But yo, the way I look at it, I'm like, nobody complains so far. I'm like, fuck it. If 8 people's on, then they're on. You
Dude,
know.
I'll be honest. I don't even know who we're having on typically. I don't even know what we're discussing. I just show up, you know?
The reason why you don't know is because I don't barely know. Like I have an idea, but there's no guarantee the guest is going to show up, right? So I have to make
Yeah.
sure, okay, if this guest don't show up, I got a backup guest, or I have enough people on for a decent show. So a lot of
Yeah.
the times, like sometimes the guest will be like, "I'm gonna try my best," and you be like, "Okay, I guess we try it." I don't know, like yeah, because but then also like listen, I can't you can't be twisting somebody else. Like they're doing me a favor. It's not like
Yeah.
I'm paying them a salary to do it, right? So it's like, hey, it's on your time, however you feeling.
No, but I
I'm
have to say, shout out to getting Sid though. That was a hell of a guest. Like Sid Faruqi. I messaged him
yeah,
after actually. I told him I was like, yo, it's always so awesome that he came on and he was super excited. He was like, yeah, he'd love to come back again. So he had a great time.
that was to be honest. I think he got the most love out of any guest.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought only like the real hardcore meatheads like us would appreciate that, but it seemed like everybody appreciated it, which is dope.
Yeah.
That everybody appreciates his hard work too.
For sure.
It's good, Joe.
What up?
Just looking at
I
Ken
tried
in
to
here.
hurry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was fucking flying to take my girl home, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Fuck, do I have time to get a monster? Fuck it, I'm gonna make time to get a monster."
Yeah, I'll be telling people just hop on right there on the car while you driving. Just be on the
I thought
podcast
about it
driving.
too, but I was like, nah, it's not that serious. Fuck that.
Unless you're
But look
Zayd. I
at
think Zayd did that once. People were taking shit out of his trunk. He was like looking
yeah,
back.
it was
Yeah, I didn't want to do all
crazy.
that.
Look at
Yeah,
Ken though. Ken looking bubbly, man.
man,
He could
Kim
use
been looking lovely. What the fuck?
yeah, that's true. He could use a little bit more arms and then he good to go.
I
Dude,
thought
for
so too.
sure. Yeah, more arms is always in the picture, man. More arms is always in the picture.
Ken, me and you have more following on that than Beatty has on equal arms. Like, you know.
That's what he's completely on the other side.
Yeah,
Beatty's
bro. There is
completely
no
on the
other
other
side. It's just him. He's a man
Yeah.
of his own. I've never heard one person ever say, you know what? I'm content with my arm size.
Yeah. But with that being
Uh,
said, you know, with this update, because I was at Iron Rev yesterday, I was training there, and some guy just came up to me, you know, he saw me there, and he's like, "Dude, like, you mind if I take a couple of shots of you?" And well, all right, let's see what I got, you know, let's see how I'm looking. So he took the shots, he sent it to me, and that's how this whole shit came about. You know, it wasn't planned, or I didn't plan to have anything, you know, like post an update. It just kind of happened like that. So it's awesome that people kind of like the update, because at first I was like, I don't know, this kind of looks you know, when you see yourself shredded and then you look at yourself again, you're kind of like, I don't know if it's good enough, but I'm glad that people at least like it. I mean, that's what off season typically, you know, looks like. So yeah.
Hey, I never told you, Cam. When I was seeing your updates leading up to North Americans, I just won my pro card, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I see you pop up. I don't know who you are, right? And I'm like, damn, this guy looks fucking good. And I look at my sister. My sister's pretty like straightforward with me.
Yeah.
She's like, I was like, Javin, you think I can beat this motherfucker? Straight up, I'm like, you think I can beat this fucking guy?
This is
You never gave me the answer. What did she say though? What did she say? You didn't say the answer.
Hey, you know she sided with Team Joe. she's like,
What?
she said that you're like really fucking bubbly and round, and you have really good shape. But she's like, with the conditioning you bring, Joe, and your side shots and your back, you'll beat him. Okay.
This to me the beauty of bodybuilding, right? You got, you got hundreds of competitors, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many different physiques, bro. It's like apples and oranges sometimes, right? Right now they seem to be leaning, if it's close enough, they seem to be leaning to some aesthetics, which to me is great. To Ken is great too.
Oh man, I love it.
But just in general, I like it because you see all these feet and you're like, well, who's gonna win, Horse MD or Raphael or Nexzilla? And I think there's so much talent, but it's so different because you look at Ken and look at Joe, two really good bodybuilders, but it's like complete different physiques, right?
Yeah, we have
almost
different physiques.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to compare because they look at you like they don't even look like the same sport at that point. You're like,
dude, 100%. Like he looks like a fucking a running back, and I look like a linebacker.
No, yeah, but it's so different. And then you have Stu, who has an interesting looking physique because he doesn't look like anybody I've ever seen. I'm like, yo, he kind of like I'm like, he kind of like a caveman, but low key, he has a nice waist and he's pulling in the vacuum, but he's also like gnarly. Like you wouldn't say, yo, Stu, you looking aesthetic. Like, it's not something you would say, but then you like, I mean, it's not unaesthetic. I mean, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? So
he's perfectly in between. So he's a mass monster, but he also has shape. So he's just right there. He's just right there in the middle. So it's like, people kind of teeter him a little bit towards the mass monster side because once he's got that hair and, he doesn't smile on stage, it kind of puts him in that bracket, but he's really in between, in terms of shape and everything is there. Yeah.
Yeah. Watching like Joe in the gym, bro, I keep seeing Jay Cutler, bro. I'm like, it keeps reminding me of Jay. Like even the walk, the shoulder width, the whole, I'm like, yo, it just reminds me of Jay. You know what I'm saying? It's a very comparable physique, and he keeps getting wider and wider and wider. I'm like, I see Jay when I look at him. Even the height, the same thing. So I don't know, but everybody just got like an interesting look, and I think that's what keeps the sport fun.
I think that's what makes it fun, because let's be honest with ourselves, Beatty. A physique like mine, 15, 16 years ago, I'm not really sure I could be a successful pro, right? If you're not 300 pounds or like 280 pounds on stage, you're kind of just looking at the bottom of top 16. Let's be real, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it really makes things interesting because at least for me, my vision for bodybuilding has always been, you want to be big and you want to have size, but it also has to have some kind of shape to it, right? You're
Mhm.
you're, you're sculpting a physique. And that's not the vision that everyone has for bodybuilding, right? Jay Cutler will tell you himself, he wanted to blow everyone off the stage. He wanted to be the biggest guy, no matter what. And that was his vision, and it worked. So I kind of just feel like now there's kind of an opportunity to express yourself as a bodybuilder in terms of what you believe a physique should look like. And speaking of that, that's kind of the same argument now with the whole Crizzo and Nexzilla, the whole thing that's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
going on, right? It's an expression of what you feel bodybuilding should look like, and there's no right answer. It's just
yeah,
about what
yeah.
it feels to you. Yeah.
That's facts. Because of the translation, I think people probably think Crizzo is like a dick, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think. I think he means it, but I think it's lighthearted because he's
Yeah.
laughing. Like they're laughing and shit and joking. I think Crizzo is like low key kind of like a troll. Like he's funny. I think he's sarcastic and he's funny. Like he's like, yo, Samson looks good from the neck down, but I don't like his head. Like that's funny. But when he translated, you're like, yo, this dude is like why is he hating on these people? I don't think
Yeah.
he's a hater. I honestly just think he's funny. Like if we said that, everybody would laugh and be like, yo, these guys are funny. But because it's not in English, you translate it and it's like, but you got to watch his body language, mannerisms, and shit. Like he's just having a good time. He's joking.
That's what I mean. And I think too with bodybuilding fans and in general, there's this concept that if you don't say anything nice about someone's physique, if you have an
Mhm.
opinion, just an objective criticism of a physique, you automatically hate that person or it's mean. And it doesn't have to be that way, right? Like, I mean, we
No.
all love the sport. When you watch bodybuilding competitions, you say, oh, this person is weak here and here. That's why this person won. It doesn't mean you hate the guy who came third. It's just on that day, that guy was better, and that's just what the judges chose, right? So it's part of the sport. It's okay for someone to say that, listen, I don't like this physique because X, Y, and Z is this way, versus what I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
X, Y, and Z should be. That doesn't mean you hate the person. It's just your vision for whatever it is.
That's facts. That's facts. And also, I was going to say, yeah, to the point about making a physique that you like, right? I remember Cedric would be like, "Listen, I have a vision, and I want to bring this vision of physique." And I remember back then, I'm like, I didn't get it. I'm like, "Yo, I just want to win. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Like, don't you want to win?" But I get it now, right? Because there's levels. Obviously, where I'm at right now, I'm trying to get my pro card. So at this point, I'm like, whatever they want me to do to get my pro card, that's what I want to bring. Okay, but let's
Yeah.
say, boom, I get my pro card. I know I'm not going to be Mr. O, right? So it's like, to some degree, like I can, like if you're Nick or Derek and you're battling for the O, at that point you're gonna just do whatever it takes to win. You're not thinking about let me bring a physique I like. You're just like I just want to win. But if you're like a pro and you're in the mix and so, but you're like Mr. O isn't something in your vision, you're gonna want to keep your physique in a way that you're proud of as well, right?
Yeah.
So you want to do what it takes to win, but once you get to that level where you feel like you're kind of at the level you're gonna be at, then you kind of want to just be proud of it. So I feel like Cedric was there. Cedric knew that he wasn't gonna win with even though he had the potential technically, but he was like at that point he's just like, okay, I'm gonna be
And
like a
it's
top
it's
Arnold
it's
guy.
and
Hmm.
it's like a game plan, right? Like it's sort of like when you're doing bodybuilding at a competitive level, there's also a thought process that goes into it. So a guy like Joe, right? Joe is a mass monster. If Joe ends up one day saying, you know what, I want to look shapely, I want to kind of have that streamlined look, and Joe starts, maybe he cuts his calories down, starts sacrificing muscle here and there, he loses what makes him competitive as a bodybuilder, versus someone like me. Say I said, okay, you know what, I got to push up 300 pounds, man. Joe and these guys are killing me. I do that, and maybe my waist blows out and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not I'm not 5'9". Let's be real. Like, so once that goes, it's over. There's nothing that's keeping me competitive as a pro. So you have
Hmm.
to play according to your strengths as well. Once you start playing someone else's game, then that's where you really start to lose. You lose sight of
I, I,
what what you can do, you know?
I agree with that. What's up, Zay?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
You're looking
Pretty
extra
good,
happy
brother.
today. Looking extra
Yeah, you're
happy.
like
I
in a
don't
good
know why.
mood.
Oh man, you know what's up, brother? You know what's up. Fresh off
Yeah.
the, fresh
No,
off
but
the stuff.
back to your point. It's like a good somebody who kind of represents that is Dennis James, right? I feel like he doesn't get as much love as he deserves because I think people prefer the early Dennis James when he kind of looked like a Levroni, right? And then when he became like a complete mass monster, I think he lost a lot of what people liked in his physique. So it's like okay, this is Ronnie. We're all chasing Ronnie. So let's get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then Dennis gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but I don't think it was a better look, bro. Like it looked like his torso was kind of short, so he was so full that his midsection just kind of get fuller and fuller, and he looked kind of stumpy, you know. Whereas before he looked like Kevin. He really looked like Kevin Levroni.
I think anybody in this competitively, they're never gonna have the physique that they want. It's like Jay talked about. His early physique was his favorite. He only got that big because he was trying to win and beat Ronnie.
Yeah.
Like even myself, my favorite look, even though I'm not done, my favorite look will be my California look. I still have I was diced, I was full, but my waist was real tiny still, tiny for me still. And I just liked that look. Like it was appealing to me, but I just know what I have to do to win.
Yeah, that's it.
So
like at the Cal, I would call you aesthetic at the Cal. You know what
yeah,
I'm
that's what I'm saying. That look I liked a lot. The lines, the conditioning, everything.
But
Josh,
your point is my fault.
I've seen that Cal look, right? But it's still, that was the early stage, but you weren't playing to your strengths. You know, now you're playing to your strengths. You're really wide, you're really big. So it will make no sense for you to say, I want to stay aesthetic when your strengths lie in the mass monster stage.
And that's
you know
what I mean. Like. I knew the look that I would have to be successful, which is why, people are like, oh, like, why is he pushing to be so big? Because I have to. Like, for me to win, it's something I knew I'd have to do. But as far as favoritism, like when I said I'm retired, I tell Paul all the time, I think I want to go back to that look. If I could get back to that,
Yeah.
that was my favorite. I liked it a lot.
Well, here's the thing, right? It's like everybody does it only because they feel like they have to, and a lot of times they do, right? That look Joe had at the Cal, that for sure wins the heavyweight. Is getting the pro card, but if they win the overall, that's the problem, right?
And I knew that.
You know what I'm saying? It depends who shows up in the supers. But there's gonna be a chance, if that was the year Stu did it, well, Stu gonna still win the overall because he did a lot bigger, right? So the thing is, for him to secure that overall, he knew what he had to do. Same with Jay. Like Jay said, his favorite look was like what, in the 245s or the low 250s, high 240s.
I think it was 240, about 240 on stage, his favorite.
You see, but he's not gonna beat Ronnie at 240. My only caveat is this though. In some instances, like flex, well, a bigger flex still doesn't beat Ronnie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at that point, you're damned if you do, because flex got a lot bigger, and what I don't believe was his best look, but it still wasn't going to be Ronnie just because Ronnie was winning off a condition early on. He wasn't actually winning off the size, you know what I'm saying? But by the time Jay got into it, there was no way Jay was going to compete with Ronnie unless he was big as fuck. But and I could argue that Ronnie's best look was 98, but it's like nobody's content.
I think it was too. And listen, I think we've talked about this on a previous episode. Let's be real. The judging criteria of today, I'm not sure that Ronnie's later looks would have won him an Olympia title.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah,
like a streamlined Flex Wheeler or Levroni came in and he had those later looks like 2002, 2003. You look at it, he's big, he's massive, but I don't know if it would win in the judging criteria today. I'll leave it at that.
Well, look at Phil. If Phil was able to lose in 2018, that Phil look wasn't as far as Ronnie's 98 to 2003 look, right? So that Phil look was maybe like a 2002 Ronnie. And Ronnie still continued to win, but like you said, the judging is getting harder and harder and harder, I know it's easy to.
Milos even said this on a recent podcast. I think something he really despised about Ronnie's later looks. It's like Ronnie was so big, dude, that like the side of his posing trunks would disappear because you couldn't even see the side of his posing trunks because his stomach and his fucking hip would just cover the whole thing. Yeah, you don't see because he was so big,
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't think that would work in today's judging criteria at all. I just don't think it'd fly.
If only if you can never convince a bodybuilder to stop growing, but if you could, imagine you could tell Phil Heath, yo, no more. That 2011, 2013 max, keep it there. But he's looking at Rami like, yo, Rami's getting big as fuck, right? Even Rami, you look at New York, and I'm like, yo, why did that New York look need to be any bigger? He just needed to be harder. And that would have been a better look than when he won the O. So it's like, but you can never tell a bodybuilder that because they're like, nah, I got to get bigger and see how freaky I look. When the truth is that sometimes it's not going to be the case, And it's also
funny. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it relies on your structure as well because Ronnie and Phil both had short midsections. They had the 4 to 6 pack look, right? So that's even harder to add weight on. And Ronnie and Phil both didn't have wide clavicles. People don't realize because Ronnie got so big and Phil got so big that they looked like they were wide, but they weren't wide guys. You know what I'm saying? But so if you have a short torso and narrow clavicles and you keep adding size, that gets rough. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to stack as much mass as the guys like, with wider frames and longer torsos, like a Samson. Samson isn't super wide, but I feel like he seems to be a little longer and he keeps adding size and not taking away from his look. But there's gonna be a limit for Samson as well. It's just not here yet,
I was gonna say, you ever really think about that? Like when you get to a size, right? You're big. You're big enough. And now all you gotta do is train to bring out some detail and shit. Like, you ever thought about how boring that fucking sounds? Like when you're chasing to be bigger, you're like just fucking motivated. Like, damn, you're just watching shit change like right in front of your eyes, and then like, oh, you're big enough. You just need to sharpen up. Like, what the fuck?
That's Nick Walker right now, isn't that? That's Nick Walker right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think it's like, I mean, the motivating factor is to win, right? To win the O for him and stuff. But it's like the training is not even fucking fun anymore.
I think too. There's this lack of objective self-assessment. So like, you guys ever walk backstage? When you're competing, and you look at all the guys backstage with you, and you're like, man, I'm small, man. These guys are monsters.
Every time. That happens every time.
That ever happens to you? Yeah, that
all the time, bro.
Even North Americans, I was one of the biggest guys there. And I was looking around like I saw Barrow and I was like, God damn. I don't know, man. I don't know about this overall, man. These guys are huge, But so you never look at yourself the same way. You still see yourself different. And I think that's with bodybuilders. I feel like that's also what happens, right? Like you're like, people are telling you, okay, the size is enough, but you see yourself and you look backstage and you're like, man, Andrew Jack is still dwarfing me. I got to look better. I got to keep getting bigger, and then you just lose sight. You just lose sight of what it is,
Bro, even in the gym, when Beatty comes to train with me and Paul, I always like, Beatty will do a set, and I'll look at Paul and be like, yo, Paul, do I look like that? Am I that big? This motherfucker looks huge. I was like, what the fuck?
that happens to everybody, bro. You can't literally. I could be at a fucking LA Fitness, and I'm like, oh, damn, that guy's kind of jacked. And I'd be like, bro, your arms is bigger than mine. They'd be like, bro, don't violate me like that. What are you talking
always
about?
Like, hey, Joe, come here. He's like, you're wider than me. What the fuck? I'm like, and I look at him like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's crazy, right?
Respect
so like even nationals last year, I was probably the biggest heavyweight there outside of Debs. And I was backstage, I was looking at everyone. I was looking at Sid. I was looking at these guys. I was like, man, Josh Manley. I was looking at them. I was like, man, I don't know, man. I'm in the wrong place. You know, I'm in
Yeah,
the
even
wrong place right
Josh
now.
looks fucking huge in person.
Yeah.
I
It's
saw
crazy.
Josh and I was like, damn, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was confident, right? But I was like, Josh looks fucking good, man. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah, bro. I don't take my clothes off to the last. They gotta be yelling at me like super heavies. Let's fucking go. I'm laying there like this. I don't take my shit off to the last second, right? And I remember getting up and I'm watching all these guys walk around. I'm looking at Janicki and Joe. I'm like, I probably should have carved up, man. I probably should have carved up a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe a little. I'm like, I got any rice cakes on me? I feel like I should carb up. The motherfuckers is pumping up in the mirror. I don't pump up. I don't know if you noticed that, Joe. I literally just lie there and get up
Yeah.
like with 1 minute.
Literally,
And
like
just
me and Beatty are all cool, talking here, there, in the gym, even when I'm on prep or we're on prep. And then backstage, I see Beatty, he sees me, I'm just like, hey, Beatty. Hey, Joe.
bro.
That was it. That was a conversation.
When I say I was dead, bro, I was brain dead, bro. I got to be honest. But in prejudging, I was so dead. I couldn't flex. So on stage, I wasn't actually posing. I'm literally just holding like this. But luckily, I have enough fullness in this area that it looks like I'm flexing. But I couldn't flex. I'm like this, just holding my poses. But when I look at the video, I'm like, it kind of looks like I'm flexing. It don't matter, you know. But you should never be that flat to the point that you can't feel your body. I couldn't feel my legs. I went to hit the side chest, and I didn't know where my legs were at. If you watch the video, I kind of like I didn't stumble, but I'm like, where's my leg at? I can't feel anything. You don't want to feel that, you know what I'm saying? At the Cal, it was the opposite. At the Cal, I was so pumped and full that I started getting like a leg pump. So you know how when you work out, so my legs were so pumped I couldn't bend my knees. Imagine that. And I would, I still didn't pump up. Just posing, I got so pumped. Like you know, when you get so pumped, you get tight. You can barely stretch your chest. It was, I was so pumped. I was cramping from how pumped I was. So, just polar opposites. You know, it's polar opposites. So somewhere in between, in between that is the sweet spot. You don't want to get a leg pump on stage, but you also don't want to not feel your fucking legs on stage. You know.
Let me ask you this, Beatty, because I do this a lot for competition. So do you ask them to gloss you extra? I feel like that's what I do because like black guys, like we get the tan or whatnot, but to really, really pop, you need that gloss. Like, you know, the glistening thing that they do. So even like North Americans, they did the regular glaze and we were backstage pumping up and I'm looking at myself, I'm like, it's not enough, man. It's not enough. So I went back, literally in the pump up. I went back, and then my boy Mikey, he's from Aries Nutrition here. He was backstage. He was actually doing the glacier. I was like, Mikey, man, you got to put extra on me. Just dump the whole shit.
Yeah.
So dump the whole shit.
Sometimes your body absorbs that. You know, I used to be like this. My body would soak in the glaze. That means you're freaking dry. You know, so that's a good sign. Yeah,
man. I don't really drink water like kind of like the last 2 days. So I'm so dry that the glass they can put the whole bottle on me. It won't look like anything. So my cheat code is that I take Pam spray, like the cooking oil spray. So they have an ingredient in it. I don't know if it's glycerin or some shit that it won't wear off. That's why it's non-stick, right? Because if it wasn't non-stick, it would just dry up the oil. So whatever they put in it, it won't dry up. So same thing you put on your skin, it won't dry up. So no matter how much your skin absorbs, it won't dry up. So that's my little secret. I go to the gloss people and be like, yeah, put this on me instead. And they spray me with the Pam. You got to be careful. If you put too much, you look like a fucking honey bun or some shit. So you can't put too much. So if you put the right amount, you're always shiny. I think Andrew Jack does that. Does he not? He put something. I don't know exactly what he uses.
Yeah, it's George Farrell. I don't know what he does because I saw him putting it on Blessing at the New York Pro too. And man, Blessing was looking like, you know, like when you have like your car, like a ceramic coating on the car, and you just shine it, get the wax. That's literally what he looked like. I was like, man, I gotta find out what they're using.
I think that's who I got it from. Actually, if I'm not with that, I think it was George Farah. So I'm pretty sure they're either doing that or he found, because George, he's on top of the new. I mean, all these coaches, they're on top of the new because they have so much experience with clients, so they always learn something new. He might have learned that from a client. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm pretty sure I got that from George. So because especially on dark skin, that pan, bro, it's not gonna let you down. So anytime I do that, it looks really good. Now, like I said, if you're not in shape and you overdo it, you get that honey bun action. You don't want
look
that.
Like you're you look like you're guest posing.
I've been there. It makes it look worse. When I went against Paul, that's what I did. I wasn't in shape, and then I put way too much. That yikes! That shit though. The back, especially the back, because I hold my fat in the back. From the front, you're like, okay, I see you. From the back, I saw those pictures. I almost slapped the phone out of this girl's hand. That shit was straight.
Hey man, when you went against Paul though, you were fucking huge.
But see, I want to marry that looks because, bro, I know I have the muscle. I just never bring the same amount of muscle to stage because I'm either look tired or not in shape. But there's a way. Me and Compton gonna figure it out. There's a way that I'm gonna be able to bring in that shape and still have the fullness. You know what I'm saying? Because you lose. It's like Ken. He had that roundness. If you lose that roundness, you lose what makes you you. You can't lose that. Same way we saw Andrew lose at the Arnold. And yes, was he in shape? Yes, but you lost that round. You can't lose that bubbliness. You know, imagine if Phil came in flat. No, like that's not even Phil no more. You're like, well, because you don't realize that Phil isn't that heavy, but that cartoonish shit, you lose that cartoonish shit. That's basically what happened that year when he came back. He didn't have that cartoon look. He wasn't flat, but he didn't have that cartoon look, and it automatically just moves you down. You're not the same.
How many weeks typically does your preps typically last, Beatty?
20 weeks minimum.
Oh wow, yeah. Because I was gonna say if it's like a 14 week where you guys are pushing hard, 14, maybe I was gonna say extended. But if you're already at 20 weeks, I don't know. Maybe try that leaner off season route. Before you guys go in. Because I feel like you suffer so much during prep that your body just can't recover. By the time you get to the stage, you're dead.
It's crazy you didn't carb up, man. That's suicide. If you just had the same package where you ate just a little bit, I swear you look more shredded because you're fuller. I think just the carb up. It might be nothing you did wrong. It's just you need to eat, man. You're either overeating or you're not eating. You have to be in between. Yeah.
This is why you have to have a coach, because there were people that was like Martin Fitzwater was telling me, yo, keep sending me pictures. And I was sending pictures. He's like, yo, start eating. But I'm already scarred. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to show up spilled. So I didn't eat, and he see me after. He was like, bro, what the fuck? He was like 2 weeks out. That's not what I'm looking at, but after the fact, hindsight is 2020, but it's like, you can't coach yourself because you're going to be biased. Whatever the bias is, either you think you're better than you are, you think you're worse than you are, or you're going off your past shows, which for me is like, I'm never hard enough. So it's like, you're so biased. You're like, I have to be harder. But at what point do you stop? Because at some point, honestly, you start to get softer. So I kept coming down, and like a day out, I'm actually softer now than I was 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're not fatter, but the muscle isn't pushing up. So, at that point, I'm like, okay, let me up my food a little bit. I didn't carb up, but my food went a little, I stopped starving basically. But at that point, that's probably the point where a coach probably would have pushed me hard, like really carb me up and then pull me back down, But like I said,
let me ask you, a week after the USAs, when the stress was gone, you ate and you drank, you have some nasty pictures like 3-4 days after USAs where you looked really, really good.
I mean, yeah. Like my glutes stayed in. My glutes weren't even that in on stage, and my Christmas tree wasn't in. But like I gained 25, 30 pounds, and my Christmas tree and glutes look like they came in more. You know what I'm saying? Because that just means you're so far gone that there's no lines left. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, like obviously 30 pounds up isn't going to translate on stage, but 5 to 10 pounds up probably would have been the sweet spot, because from the cow, I lost 15 pounds. Maybe 8 pounds down would have been the sweet spot. But I just wanted to make sure that the judges, and the thing also, I knew I wasn't going to win when I seen Joe, right? So my thing is that I got to make sure I'm in the first call out. And I feel like with my shape, as long as there's no body fat on me or water on me, I know I'm going to be in the first call out. So that was kind of like what I started thinking, but that's not a good way to think. You should be like, I want to place as high as possible, regardless of who you think is going to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but
speaking of that, there's nothing worse than showing up to a show. You know, you guys go through the group comparisons, and they call that first call out, and you're standing there like this.
I'm the king of that,
bro. There's nothing worse.
Bro, your friends are like, go Beatty, go number 19, and you're like this. Oh my God, bro. Yo. But it's good to feel that, so you can be like, yo, that's never gonna happen again. Dude, because you gotta feel that at some point.
Yeah, I thought that once, and I was like, I never want to feel this way ever again.
Yeah, and you just, but that's gonna play in your head, and you're never gonna let. Okay, if you don't place where you want to place, it's never gonna be from like a lack of effort, because you know damn well, you know, if anything, it might be too much effort. You might overdo it, but you're never gonna underdo it. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm never gonna undershoot, because I can't feel that feeling. Fucking. All right, the fucking last three, last three people come on stage, fucking getting this shit. Oh man, that's, you know. But there was one guy, I felt bad for him. He was a super. He has a really good physique. He was just way off, and I'm looking at him. I could tell by his look. He's like, yo, he knows damn well he don't belong in no last call out. But it is what it is, and you see it in his face. He's kind of like, fuck, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And then he dropped to a heavyweight, and he got like top 3 or 4 at the, I want to say, nationals. So the physique is there. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember him. He did really good at nationals. He looked sliced. You know?
Yeah. But I'm looking at him. I'm like, yo, he had everything.
I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
You know, a bald black guy. He had the calves. He had the legs. But I was watching him backstage. I'm like,
Mike something. Are you talking about Bob? This nationals came 5th. Yeah, he was also a North Americans. He came 3rd there. Mike C something. Let me look for it. I'll pull it up. I'll have you pull it up.
I think he was wearing gold trunks, right?
I think so, something like that.
Golden trunks.
But you can kind of tell when somebody is a true heavyweight and they come in too heavy. You want to be careful.
Mike Lemastro. Pull him up on Instagram. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find him.
So Mike Anthony.
That's one of those things. Let me see. Mike Anthony.
Yep. Boom. Right there.
There we go.
This guy, right?
Oh, I got to follow him back now, because I'm on the spot. Yeah, but he looked.
Bro, that sucks.
Because they're like, yo, you know, this guy got the potential. There we go. But he got good calves for a black guy, man. Come on, man.
I think with him, he shakes a lot when he poses too. That's he also does, yeah, he shakes a lot. But he looks good, man.
Look at the glutes, and it's crazy that he's capable of this kind of condition. Like, that's like, so it was just like an error, I guess. I don't know, because this is a solid condition, yeah.
Yeah, he looks good, man. He was a
North American. You know how we talk about good genetics? You see his back double? His back double. My back double bicep looked like his back double bicep when I was natty.
Yeah. You kind of had that.
That's when I realized I had a shot.
Yeah, because he
exactly what it looked like right there.
He was 3rd in North Americans. Like he looked good. It was just Jamal and I were just bigger, right? We just outsized him, but he looked good in North Americans too. The guy's good, man. The guy's good. I think he's definitely knocking at the door. I think just the posing, if he stops shaking a little, I don't know if it's diuretics, because you know when you take a lot of diuretics, sometimes you start shaking, your legs twitching on stage. But I don't know
legs
if
get
that's
wobbly.
it.
Yeah, the legs get wobbly, boy.
I don't know if
But
that's it, but
notice, sorry, I would cut you off. Notice the hamstrings on the side. This is the same thing as Andrew and Blessing. It's something I don't think they will ever get, which is the hanging hamstring. So it's a trait, you know. I think he looks amazing.
You think he's flexing the hamstring? That's why, because you know when you do a side, you're not supposed to flex. You're just supposed to let the leg drop. So maybe you know the right leg pushes into the left, so that's what gives that hamstring. Yeah,
you would have seen
how low his glute is.
You would have seen it in the transition if that's what you mean. But because you didn't see it in the transition, he probably doesn't have that hang altogether. And he has to shift his hips. Yeah, he has to shift his hips backwards to show it more, not forward.
You want to hear my theory though?
Yeah.
If you look at his glutes, he has super long glutes. His glutes attach like in the middle of most people's hamstrings, right? Look at his glutes come down to his knees, bro.
Holy shit! Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at this. Literally, it's in the middle of his leg. So one thing I noticed, if you look at Tonio, you look at Andrew, you look at Ronnie Coleman, they all have super long glutes. It's all the way down to the hamstrings. And then from their side poses, none of them have crazy hamstring drops. I think they have
excellent observation.
Their glutes completely swallow their hamstrings. So you know what I'm saying? It's like you know what I'm saying? So I think like you said, Zayd, you never think Andrew will ever get a crazy drop. I agree.
No,
because there's no, I don't want to say there's no hamstring, but the glute takes up half the hamstring. So how are you going to have a, you know what I'm saying?
There's nothing.
And then you have, if you look at,
that's not a flaw, honestly. It's just something he has to accept, I think, you know.
Boom. Well, from the back, it's an advantage because their glutes look insane when it's in shape. Who was the guy you said your favorite bodybuilder? Tom Prince.
Yeah.
So
well, I like his legs. Yeah.
With him, it's the opposite. His glutes are short, so his ham drops nicely, right? So if you look at O'Brien Curry, he has short glutes, really short butt, right? So his hamstring drop is crazy. That's a trait too, right? I got a short butt. My hamstring drop isn't crazy, but my side leg looks better than my front leg and my back leg. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a characteristic. You know,
we'll find out if you ever fucking carve up.
Yeah.
I will say in the off
season. I have seen you one time. I think in the 21 USA's. I think I've seen you with a bag of Lay's backstage one day. That was 2021. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Those Lays are magical.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh shit."
At that point, I felt like I was behind in size. Because my first USA, they were like, yo, everything is there, just coming bigger. It's like, because you're always going off of your last trauma, right? So it's like, if you were bigger, you would have been there. All right, you coming big as fuck. Oh, nah. Coming lighter, bro. That's too big. Then, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, but that's why you can't coach yourself because you're going to over stress one idea, you know? So it's like a yo-yo thing. And then now I'm trying to do this. You know, but
just as your friend, as your friend, I want you to see you turn pro immediately. I believe like heavy oils before the stage, that's a fucking suicide. Nothing fried before the stage. Even if you have a small waist, don't ever go that route, man. I don't think.
Chips you're talking about.
Yeah, no way. That's a no way for me. If you ask me, like, I think if you used rice cakes and packets of salt and honey, I think that would do the job just as good.
I think so.
And just for don't do that shit again.
No, I didn't do that one since then. That's like a John Reagan kind of secret. Instead of like French fries, he would have guys do potato chips. If you're somebody who comes in like really dry, like maybe Joe, have you ever done potato chips, Joe?
Yeah, both shows Justin had me do potato chips.
That would work. For Joe,
so he has me do everything. He has me do the Rice Krispies, and the potato chips.
Holy
I've been on a
shit.
different boat, brother.
Nice. Yeah, Zayd and I on the same island, bro. We don't get that luxury.
Dude,
Yeah,
I can't
so
eat
I
junk
remember
food until the show is over.
Josh Manley. He sees me like fucking lathering up this Rice Krispie treat with pink salt and honey. He's like, "What the fuck? Justin didn't have me do that shit." He's like, "I didn't get that shit."
Yeah, I only had my regular meals. I didn't even get Rice Krispie treats, nothing in between. It was just my regular meals.
I got a banana, man. That's it.
This is right before stepping on stage. He always has me do that 30 minutes before.
Yeah, Andrew's like, you don't need to be more full, bro. Like, you're good. Just your regular meals.
Dude, Justin kept feeding me. So like between prejudge and finals, it was like I had regular meals on prejudging and the Rice Krispie treat with the chips and stuff. And then the next day for finals, I had a muffin with like 3 of my meals. And then I did the same thing backstage. He even had me drinking, I had 3 liters of water both days.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He pushed me pretty far though. Like I was pretty fucking.
That's what I think. That's what people have to understand. Like Compton tries to, he tries to over diet you on purpose to see where your threshold is at, right? Because you don't know till you know. What if you continue to just look better as you get lighter? Some people do.
Yeah. Like I was really dry at like 4 weeks out. Dry.
Yeah.
4 weeks out. Like Beatty saw, I wasn't super dry yet, but I was already like there. The texture of my skin and stuff.
You could have competed like that, honestly. Like
that's why I didn't know where I was going to come from. So he took me pretty far.
Most coaches that Joe looked 4 weeks out, they would keep him there and then give him a couple diuretics, and that would be the look. Compton doesn't. Further, he doesn't like diuretics. He would rather pull you in 10 pounds lighter than you probably need to. Then he could be like, okay, now you're at that point where if you come down any lower, you look worse. Now we're gonna feed you back up, but he won't fill you out 100%. He likes to get you like 70, 80%. I think that's a way to not fail. This is why Compton's success rate is so high. He doesn't hit or miss. He always hits, because if you do, what if I take Joe 4 weeks out, give him a couple diuretics, and I ruin his look? I'm fucked because we're on Thursday now. I can't get that back. With Compton's way, he already went too far. Now he knows where your best look is at. He's like, okay, your best look was at 230 because at 225 you looked worse. 230, we're gonna keep you there. Now we're gonna slightly carb you up to like 60 to 80%. You can't spill if you're 60 to 80%. You know what I'm saying? So stop trying to go for 100%. There's nothing wrong with 90%. Compton brings these guys 90%.
Andrew's exactly like that. That's why if you look at all Andrew's clients, everyone's always freaking peeled because he'll keep dieting you. Even if, like I told you guys, I was same thing as Joe. I was ready 4 weeks out. Glutes, everything was there, but we just kept going.
Boom.
And even when we got there, you're like, okay, he still didn't fill me all the way. It's like your regular meals, because for me, just on regular, I'm always bubbly, right? So if you keep feeding me, it's just going to keep, and I could just spill over with just a little bit, So he just kept my regular meals. I had a burger the night before with no cheese or nothing, just the bun and the burger and some fries. And I had my regular meals for the rest of the day, the next day. And that's how I went into North Americans. So he always just does that. 80% is good enough. If you can't do it at 80%, then,
you're not ready for it. Boom. Yeah. So it's like the coaches with the highest success rates, right? Let's say the Comptons, the Hanis, the Jansons, even like Cameron Cheek, Janson's underbosses, they're not trying to hit it out the park. That's why all their guys are doing well. But then you have guys like Chad, you have guys like Milos, right? Where they're gonna have a couple guys hit it out the fucking park, like Ronnie and Samson. But if you look at a lot of the other guys, it's kind of like hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to knock it out the park, and sometimes you go either 100% or you go back down to 60%. That's risky business. You know what I'm saying? I think you're better off playing it safe. Milos is kind of guy, he's like, yo, if you're not going to hit out the park, why do it at all? Milos is that kind of guy. Whereas if you want a higher success rate, it's better off. Why does Hani have the most Olympians? because he's not trying to hit up. We probably never seen Phil at 100%, but Phil if you're good enough to win, you're gonna win at 85, 90% more than likely. Like let's be real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you ever heard that story Milos told with Dennis James? I can't remember what Olympia it was. Dennis, I think that he did insulin like a couple of minutes before. Milos told him, he's like, listen, we could do this protocol right now, and if you're not on stage in 30 minutes, it's over.
Yeah.
And of course,
you know what?
They didn't make it to stage in 30 minutes.
Yo, low key, I feel like Milos is the same Milos he's always been, right? As Dennis gets older, I feel like he's holding back a little bit. Like he tries to act like he's more reserved than he was. Because Milos be like, no, you told me you want to do it. Don't act like I made you do it. You told me you want to, you know what I'm saying? You know how people be there like, nah, I want to knock it out of the park. And then when you do it, it don't work. They kind of be like, yeah, but I didn't really want to. You're like, nah, you wanted to be a freak. I just helped you.
Wanted it.
You wanted this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Bro, we all do. We all want it. Like, that's why, like, you'll never see me coach blame. We all want this shit, bro. I don't like when people, I remember there was a guy who, he was on, I forgot whose channel he was on, but he was blaming Milos for something. He's like, oh, Milos did this. I got some heart disease. And we was
Mike
like,
Wheels, the Canadian guy.
That shit was so annoying, bro. And then it's like, you bodybuilded for 25 years. Milos coaches you for like 2 years, and you blame Milos for your shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you can't blame nobody else for the shit that happens to you from bodybuilding. You chose the sport. Nobody's making you do shit.
And
taking insulin.
That's exactly what I was about to say. If you're a bodybuilder, say like you don't support using insulin or something like that, why would you go with Milos? Right?
Exactly.
Like, know what you're getting into.
Like straight up, he wanted to smoke. And then after the fact, when he's older and he feels like, bitter because he didn't do shit, now all of a sudden it's Milos' fault, right? And not for nothing, bro. With all due respect, if you're a girl and you go hire Shelby, that's on you. You know Shelby wins, but you know that he's gonna push you maybe beyond what you need to be pushed. That's a choice. That's a calculated choice you made, knowing that his girls are winning. But some of them might not be healthy. I still want him.
Pay a price.
I don't want to hear you complain after the fact. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so naive. I didn't know anything. Nah, you ain't that naive. Stop it. Stop that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's see if there's any bodybuilding news going up. I saw Nick. But I never see Hadi's update on his pages. He posted on his stories and YouTube, I think, right?
It's on his stories. Yeah, I think BOYZ Trice took it. The one off his back or something. I don't know if he still has it up.
Damn.
Fucking like Hadi's not my favorite physique, but when I look at him, it's like the definition of hard work in a picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's such a respectable physique. Like you can't help but appreciate what the fuck you're looking at.
He gets busy. Who got more reps, Joe or Hadi? Joe got 20. You think Hadi gonna get 20?
Dude, I think Joe's leading all of us on the 5-plate race right now.
My man Joe.
Hey, I had no intention on doing that shit, and then Paul tells my girl, hey, Jalissa, come spot Joe. And I'm like, oh, she's not gonna fucking spot me, but she gets behind me, and then her my boy Casey's girl's like, hey, I'm gonna record it. I'm like, well, fuck, now I gotta do this shit. Balls out.
You can't stop now.
Those were TRT
reps. I can't breathe, bro. There's no way I could breathe on 20 reps.
Hey, yeah. Oh, so anybody that says that I'm gonna have a heart attack, fuck you. That's 20 reps in 5 plates. You fucking try to do that shit.
Hey,
Joe absolutely mugged. Joe mugged all of us, with that 20 rep 5 plate.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. How fat am I now, you fucks?
When it comes to like the PRs, I'm still young, but I feel like I'm past my prime with the PRs. I haven't hit a PR in a long time, bro. So I got to pull up old videos to try to battle Joe because I can't. Like part of me was like, I was like, yo, this off season, I'm gonna get back to 10 sets of 10 with 6 plates. Watch, bro. the way this 4 places feeling, I'm like, yo, I don't know how I did that. I must have had I must have been like a different person back then, because I don't know if I have the desire. You have to have the desire to hit 6 plates. You don't do that shit by accident. Because I had some nasty ass leg workouts to the point that I'm like, yo, there's something wrong with me. And now I don't know if I can go to that place, bro. I got to be honest. I'm not training soft. Like I still train hard. But there's a level that I used to cross that I don't know if I'm willing to cross. Like nowadays, if I'm doing a set and I'm like, yo, I don't know if I'll be able to catch my breath, I might cut it short just so I don't pass the fuck out. Well, the other time where I didn't care, bro. I'm like, fuck it. You know, but exactly I don't know if I'm there, bro. I don't know if I'm there. But you know, let's see the
emotion. There's an emotion.
Yeah, emotion.
I remember, like, I used to train with rage, bro. Like rage. You know, where it's just like, listen, if I'm doing this bench press and you know I can't get that next rep and it's over, it's over. I'm willing to take that risk. That's how I used to train before, you know. But now I'm like, I don't want to tear my pec, you know. I just started my pro career, you know.
That's fair.
This is literally the underdog mentality.
I don't think I want to tear my pec
today. It's like I don't even know what I was actually hungry for. I don't know if it's respect. I don't know what it was, but there was a drive that came from somewhere that I don't know if I could pull it back up. But I think you also get to a point where you already have a lot of people's respect, maybe, and you don't feel you still want to continue to improve and do better, but that really crazy desire to prove yourself is not as high as it used to be, because people kind of know you and respect you already, I guess. I don't know. And maybe you're making more of a comfortable living. You know, you're not as enraged and fucking mad at the world and ready to fucking go crazy. You know, so
and I think back then too, my mentality too was the heavier I go, the more muscle I can build. You know? That's true. I feel like that's kind of changed with me now. You brought up Tonio, and I have something I want to say about Tonio that is on my mind, and it's bothering me a lot. Yeah, it's bothering me a lot.
What's that?
So can you pull up that? Yep, the middle.
This one?
Okay, yes. So I feel like Tonio has an exceptional ab development. I don't know who in his corner is telling him to do vacuums, but I feel like it's taken away from his actual physique. I feel like he looks better with the abs crunched. What do you guys think?
Let's see. Oh yeah, he's hitting vacuum here too. Yeah, I'm trying to find one without.
I need to see one where he's regularly doing it.
Right there. Look at the right, the one where he's just standing there.
Oh, this is not that flattering. But
I mean, he's not flex, but
I need to see him in the pose, like the actual.
Look at his New York Pro all the way at the top.
Perfect.
Yeah, all the way at the top.
You don't get better than that. Yeah.
It's way better if he doesn't vacuum.
He didn't really flex.
With or without, you said, Joe.
Without the vacuum.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
100% agree.
When you have those blocky, like popped, separated abs, you want them to show. You don't want to fucking hide them.
Yeah, look at his glutes. How low his glutes come too. Yeah. I mean, I think I got to see it on stage to know for sure. But in the pictures, I think I like the. He don't even have to flex it. He just doesn't need to hit a vacuum. Like sometimes he pulls it up and he doesn't flex it, and it still looks like he's flexing it. Like, you know, like Andrew Jack. You can just pull it up.
Bro, he has an 8-pack. He has a fucking 8-pack, bro. Why would you need a vacuum with an 8-pack, bro? Like, come on. You know?
Hey, well, you know what? Derek Lunsford does it, actually.
But Derek's waist is not Tonio's waist.
Absolutely. Derek doesn't have crazy abs. It looks like he does, like in the gym pictures, but on stage, his abs don't look that crazy. You know?
Yeah, they're defined, but they don't have that pop like his does either. You're right.
Exactly.
Abs are so important, man. They're so important.
I feel like, and this is my my to death crusade against the vacuum. I feel like vacuum has this. It has this thing now in bodybuilding where it's like if you pull a vacuum, automatically it makes your physique better, and I completely disagree. I feel like a guy like Tonio who has such good abs, I don't see a reason to hit a vacuum, man. I think it's taken away from how he looks.
The only person I ever saw like where the vacuum completely changed the dynamic of their physique was Charles Griffin.
I agree.
No, like there are people who look better in vacuums. Now, you can't just assume that you're gonna look better in a vacuum. I think that's the issue. Like, I think C-Bum looks better in a vacuum. I think Derek Lunsford looks better in a vacuum. Keon looks better in a vacuum. But just because those 10 guys look better in a vacuum doesn't mean that you yourself need to hit a vacuum, because I don't believe Tonio needs to hit a vacuum. I was talking to Ken about that, and then I saw him flex it hard, and I was like, it actually looks better when he flexes it hard than even if he stretches it out. You know what I'm saying? So everybody doesn't need to hit a vacuum. You know what I'm saying? Charles Griffin, night and day. You know what I'm saying? I felt like C-Bum doesn't have a good ab wall. Neither does Keon. Neither does Derek. If you don't have a great ab wall, of course, hide that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you pose. But you don't hide your strengths. You know what I'm saying? It's counterproductive. Imagine hiding one of your best body parts. It's not. Dexter Jackson that doesn't hit a vacuum. He had some of the best. That's what I was about to say.
Imagine Dexter hitting a vacuum, bro.
You guys all read my mind too.
Yeah, like you imagine Dexter
don't make sense.
I feel like so Tonio, I mean, he's probably not going to watch this. I don't know, but try it without the vacuum. I don't know. Maybe someone's telling him. Maybe it's his coach. I don't know. Maybe they're telling him hit it with a vacuum. You know, we're all just bodybuilders trying to get better. But this is just my personal opinion. I think that you would look so much better without. Look at it right there. Look at that front. Look at that front double, right? Front lat spread, bottom right.
Yeah,
bottom
front lat spread on the bottom right. Yeah,
this one.
No, the other one. Like, bruh, you know, like, dude, you don't need no vacuums, bro.
You're a fucking superhero.
You're low key,
literally.
I want to see him as a Black Panther, bro.
Yo, low key, Tonio looks like a Lego. Like, that's how his abs look. He looks like a Lego character.
He looks like one of those, like, you know, like when you bought those wrestling toys.
Yeah. That's how he looks.
WWE.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me check one more guy out that I thought was impressive.
James Hollingshead, man. I really hope he shocks the fucking world with his placing. I'm excited for him.
Did he post anything new? Let me guess. James posts like twice a day, so he probably did.
Yeah, I was like, he posts every day. So.
I was like, what did he post?
But his back, like, man, he looks good.
He was like really flat the last time I saw him, but then somebody posted something that he like filled out a little bit, I think. Listen, it's Milos. I don't think you got to worry about being full with Milos. I'm sure he's gonna fill him out at the end, but you gotta get shredded before you fill out. You know, it's part of the process.
And I think it's
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it's perspective too. Like when James is taking all these physique updates, it's just a white wall. You're not seeing him next to anyone. Like James is a big guy, man.
Exactly.
You know, it's when he's standing next to someone else shredded and looks like that, you're really gonna see how big he actually is. You know?
Yeah. It's different seeing Hadi by himself at 5'5". Yeah, he looks big by himself because he's 5'5". But when you're 5'11" and you're by yourself, you don't look as even Andrew. You see Andrew by himself, you're like, he looks good. But when he stands in that lineup, he looks like a fucking creature, bro. It's just insane. So yeah, even when he's flat, he's still big. He's just flat on his own body, you know. But I'm impressed. I think. Listen, man. The Arnold. I think it actually got more interesting because now we don't know who the fuck is fighting for third. Like that, you know, that third on. We don't know what the fuck is gonna happen.
I seriously think he could get in the third spot. I really do.
He can. It's like he can. Rafa can. Horse MD can. Who else is doing it? I don't know if John DeLosa. That's going to be hard for him. But I think between Rafa, Horse MD, James, I don't think Nexzilla is doing it, bro. Like
He's
he's
not.
So
it's just I don't see any
He
chance.
posted an update too recently that I don't even know if
Yeah, no.
he's. Yeah, I don't know if he's actually doing it. I mean, he was having a cake 2 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, he was having a whole meal. But is Hottie for sure? Does he have a fucking visa?
So James, I said James, Dave Palumbo, the recent RX Muscle, Heavy Muscle Radio, he said that he heard a rumor that Hottie's not doing because he couldn't get a visa. I don't know how true that is.
Oh, you're right. I saw. I forgot who said it. Somebody said he said 7 weeks out, but we're 5 weeks out. So that would mean he's talking about the UK.
Yeah,
I didn't see
it's on
that
his
post.
story too. Yeah, it's on the story, the one we just saw. So I really don't know if he's doing the Arnold USAs. I
Yo,
really don't
the
know.
Arnold, they gotta stop putting out these posters with all these people on it because they keep doing that every year. They'll post all these stars and then nobody shows up. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
come on, bro. But I get it. It is marketing. It got people talking about it still, and I'm still excited to watch it because shit, who's gonna get second now? Same argument. Is it gonna be James or SMD? Brandel? Let's see if Brandel posted something. But
it's going to be cool to see him next to if he gets an opportunity to get close to Samson because they kind of like grew into this together in a way. So
cool. Oh, he should. I mean, if Hottie don't show up, he gonna be close to him. I mean, I would assume he would be in the first call out in the mix. Depends how much guys they call out, but I mean, if they call out 4 guys, I don't think James is gonna be outside the top 4.
No.
Right. I just noticed on Rafa's profile, I'm surprised he only has 2 pro wins.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
That's a good point.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he beat Samson in 2022. Then
he's only been the Olympia once, though, right? And he missed out on that.
Yeah.
He qualified last year, but he didn't.
And he got 10th, right?
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was in 22, right? 22.
I think so.
Yeah, that was in 22. Yeah. And then last year he sat it out. You guys think it was smart to sit it out, or you would have done it?
You should have done it, man.
I mean, personally, if I'm qualified, I'm doing it, even if I don't have one of my legs.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see him next to in that spot between Tonio and Regan. I think he matches up with those 2 guys pretty well.
You can still make granted, everybody's not Samson, so everybody's not going to put on 40 pounds of tissue while doing 4 shows a year. I get it, but you can still improve competing. I felt like I make more improvements competing once a year. The years there was a couple of years where I skipped a year. Let me put on more extra muscle. I didn't put on more extra muscle. Like, it was the same progress. I just missed a year. When you cut down, get sensitive, and get that rebound, I think that does more for your body than staying fucking stuffed to your stuff in your face for a whole year. Honestly, I feel that way.
And it's the Olympia. It's the Olympia, man, dude. Like, if you're qualified, dude. I mean, especially now that it's not even a point system. You have to win to get there. So, I mean, I think he should have done it. I think he would have placed top 10. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Placed top 10.
You can't take this shit for granted, man. You can't. There's very few people who can kind of take it for granted. Phil denied it. I think maybe 2 years because he turned pro in 2005, didn't he? He didn't do that. He didn't do the Olympia till 2008, no, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the first one. Yeah.
So he turned it down twice at least. Obviously, if you're Phil Heath, if you're in your mid-20s and you look like the fuck he did, and you're winning shows left and right, okay, you know you're gonna fucking continue to qualify. But even that, who knows? What if he got injured? What if he got sick? Fucking colon, Mike. What's the guy that won the Arnold that 1 year with Chris Aceto? Mike
Francois.
Mike Francois.
Francois.
Oh, he's young. He already won the Arnold. That's gonna be Mr. Olympia. Boom. I don't know, colon, some shit. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. Some shit happened to him. Don't take it for granted, bro. Even if you are Phil Heath, So I don't know. You gotta understand that life doesn't life beats is gonna beat to his own drum. Life doesn't go at your pace. Life does whatever the fuck life does, and you just here for the ride. So don't miss out on
It's funny you
opportunities.
say that, dude. That used to be an issue for me. Exactly what you say, because people always told me, "Stop competing, stop competing, stop competing. Go for an off season, go for off season." And I always thought that I might not get a chance to compete again. So this was one of the very first thoughts I really had. But now I have to force it and sit off at least a year or 2 years.
See, it made sense for Zayd because Zayd's issue was like mine. It was peaking properly. If you want to learn to peak, you have to practice peaking. The only way to practice peaking is to compete. You know what I'm saying? So if it was like Zayd just needed 20 pounds of muscle, like he does now, shut it down. But if you're already at the top of your class, unless you want to switch classes, which Zayd wasn't trying to do that. Yeah, compete and learn how to peak until you win. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So,
speaking of competing, there's one more person I wanted to bring up. I saw RPG is doing the Detroit Pro.
He is actually, yeah.
What do you guys think of? Because I think he looks crazy, man. I don't know why he hasn't.
He's so underrated, man. The guy is phenomenal.
He looks crazy, dude. Like I don't understand. Yeah, 305 right there.
Oh, he was there?
Yeah, RPG 305. Yeah, you missed him. Oh. RPG. Right there. Yep, the first one.
Okay.
I think nickname probably.
It is. I think it's just peaking because he has the size, he has the shape. I think just peaking, coming in hard and full at the same time. It sounds so easy, and it is easy for some people, but not for everybody, bro. Some people it's just like you try everything, and it's like for whatever reason you can't get that balance. I think once you figure it out, I think you can continue to nail it, but it just takes a long time for some people. You know what I'm saying?
This is one of those guys that I feel like he can easily win a pro show. Like he has the size, he has the mass, he's big, the shape. He's got the symmetry, shape, everything.
Yeah, he's tall too. He's not short at all. He's like 6 foot, maybe 5'11".
Have any of you seen him in person?
I think he's taller.
He's in California, right? He's in LA, with you guys.
Yeah. I did before. I have seen him 2 weeks ago. Not 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, 2 months ago, and he gave me some pointers for posing. He was such a gentleman. Like, bro, he's a big ass teddy bear. He's very nice, very polite, and he has a lot to offer. As a trainer.
I think he's like an inch or two taller than me, right? He got to be like 6'1", maybe, right? At least, maybe.
Yeah, he's tall. He's
really tall.
Yeah.
He's really tall.
Yeah, but yeah, I think if he just peaks and he's full and shredded, that look at that. Like being a tall guy and filling out your frame is hard to do. So the fact that he looks that dense, I think it's gonna happen for him. I think it's a matter of time. I'm pretty sure they told him he needs more size, which when you're tall, you kind of always do. Like Andrew Jack needs more size, but I think more importantly, I think the peak, because with the size he has now, I believe he could win a pro show even with the size he has now.
That's what I think too, because I think size-wise, he's probably the same, if not even bigger than Quentin, right? So I feel like it's a peaking thing for him.
Yeah,
that's another underrated guy. Quentin is so underrated
too.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Quentin's gonna look like, man. Fuck, he's huge.
I'm trying to get him on the pod. Yeah. There's a lot of good competitors.
I think the judges told him he needs a thicker back. That's what I think the knock on him.
Oh, that's his knock, a back.
Well, his back is wide. Yeah, his back is very wide, but thickness, yeah, I can see thickness.
Yeah, of course. Your back can always get better, and that's for everyone.
Is there a back picture?
Right. Let's look at that. Yeah, stage shot right there.
Damn, look at his sweeps. Holy shit.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He looks crazy, dude.
that looks wild.
And his torso, he's got that Nathan Diasha torso, like it's super long.
That's who it reminded me of. I kept seeing that picture. I was like, who the fuck does that look like?
So his lats is like a cobra, kind of flares out because he's got a really long torso.
I think it's a good look. Like when Lee Priest with that long torso, I don't, I feel like sometimes people use it as like a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad. As long as you have a back, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it makes your waist look really good, actually.
Casey's like that. Smaller. Casey has a long torso too.
Casey, he's not even tall, but Casey has a long ass torso, bro.
But his waist is like crazy small, bro.
His waist is not existent. He has no. Well, when is he gonna compete? Is he gonna compete again?
He's retired. He's done.
What?
Yeah. No, he's doing Detroit Pro, man.
No, not Ron Gordon. He's talking about Casey.
Shit. I was like, what the hell?
He's a 212 pro that goes to Fit Nation. Why is he retired?
Is he really done?
Yeah, he's done.
Damn. He just started. Well, he didn't just start. But he just started.
After he did Tampa, he was real upset, but then he was like training hard, and then he kind of just like he got like he took a little break, and then he met this girl that he's really into. She's super she's really good for him, but like he kind of like got to live life a little bit, started focusing more on money, and he's just kind of like, you know what, like his mindset was he doesn't see the future in it for himself anymore, so he's kind of wants to take the other avenue. So,
you know what? You got to respect it at the end of the day. Because
I wanted to step on stage with him. When I walked into Fit Nation, I told him my dreams was to become a pro and then share the stage with him because he's the reason I went. Because I was like, okay, Casey's like paving the way. I want to follow his footsteps. And then he kind of like passed the torch on to me, like, Joe, you know what? Like, this is your time now. Like, my time's kind of gone. I'm going to help you with whatever you need and stuff and be there for you. But I want to focus on other things because I kept trying to convince him, like, come on, bro. Like, you're the Cal Pro of me and Paul. It's the dream, bro. Like, all three of us together. And the last conversation, I kind of just left it as it is. I respected it. And
you have to. Because you know what it is? Like, you always you kind of feel like it catches you off guard, right? Imagine if, like, I'm like, yo, I'm retiring. And your first instinct going to be like, yo, what the fuck? But you have to understand, Bo, if I'm not happy, it's not making me happy. I'm not passionate about it. It wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense. First of all, you probably wouldn't do that well if you lose your passion for it. But if I'm telling you, yo, I'm done, you got to think about it. Why is he saying that? He wouldn't be saying that unless he really meant it. And if he really means it, there's no reason to push your body through that shit if you don't really want it. You know what I'm saying?
And he tried to. There was like 2 times where he tried to like start up again, and like within like 2 weeks, he just like, you know what, like the fire's kind of gone. Like he couldn't get back into that want, like that same mind frame like we all have right now to like all or nothing. Like it is what it is. Like drop up everything to make this happen, kind of thing. I said he got to live life, and life outside of bodybuilding, bro. Like it's pretty fucking great. I mean, you really gotta love this shit to keep going. So when you have that little taste of, I guess you'd call it freedom, and you're making money, saving money, like actually working towards other things in your life, it's kind of like, if you don't see yourself at a top level in this, like why are you really doing it after a certain point? So
there's so much more to life. So you have to look at it from that lens. You can't look at it from the lens of I'm a competitive bodybuilder and I have this one goal, because there's so much more to life than bodybuilding, and we're all gonna retire one day. You know what I'm saying?
And so, people don't understand it too. Like once you get to national level, top level pros, bodybuilding becomes a cage, man. Like I know another guy like Brian Balzano that recently retired too. He was like top 5 in the 212, the Olympia. But when a guy says he's done, man. And there's a reason, man. Like people
he was ninth.
Don't realize. 9th? Oh, my bad. Yeah. He that's someone I thought that could have taken the title at some point.
I thought so too.
But like the little things, bro. Like if I said today, I want to go visit my mom and maybe stay at her house for the next 4 days. I got to pack my meals. I got to do it. Like your life is centered around this. Everything else is second. You can't just wake up and say, "Oh, babe, let's go take a flight and have a weekend at I don't know, Miami." Do I have my meals when I'm in Miami? Do I have a gym I can train at? You know, it's a cage, man. And
100%.
Sometimes people say, "Oh, it's one day or it's 2 days," but we don't look at it like that. You know, you lose that one day. I'm like, man, Joe, Beatty, and Zayd have completely left me behind, even if it's just a day. That's how you kind of just mentally reason, you know.
Bro, it's hard. Like, you know, the Pauls and the Caseys and, like, you know, my girl and all that stuff. Like, everybody on the outside, like, you guys watch me do a 5-plate squat, right? Wherever, for all these reps. It looks great. You know, I look like I'm making crazy progress here and there, but people don't see what I'm like when I'm by myself. Like, there's this life is fucking hard, and, like, there's times where you get in your own head. No matter how much progress you make, at the end of the day, we lay in bed and think about how much time is passing by. Bro, it's brought me to tears how hard this life can be. And, like, say you get to live a little bit of life, right? Because we were in off season, right? You're like, fuck, man, I know what I'm about to go back into. And this part was hard. Like, everybody saw me get to 300 pounds. They have no idea how hard that was on me. Like, mentally, physically, emotionally. I said, there was a, when you guys saw me do 6 plates for 12 reps, right? That was an emotional lift. The night before, I was, like, fucking bawling my eyes out in my bed, like, straight up, like, just thinking about how much I've sacrificed, and, like people don't know what's going on in the background of my life, right? And it's like, fuck, man, this is all gonna be worth it. Like, I pray to God this is worth it, because there's been some time that passed by, like some relationships lost and all that, doing all this. And no matter how successful I've been so far, nothing's guaranteed. And so that next day, I remember getting under that squat rack and I did the 6 plates. No intention, it just happened. And I sat down, I got real quiet, like, this is gonna be fucking worth it, Joe. Like, I promise you, like, just keep fucking going. Because I've never done shit like that before. But it's life's fucking hard. So, like, people like KC, I know he's lived that moment that I had to. I'm sure all you guys have. It's a hard fucking life. So you really gotta sit down with yourself and understand what you're giving up and appreciate it for what it is, because it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, because like here in Jersey, right, the kind of the top amateur on the block at one point was Sean Condor. He was going to be like an exceptional 212 guy. You know, he already won. He had won all the shows around here. He was going to nationals, and he just stopped. And at the time, I didn't understand. I was like, "What the fuck? Like, you're number one in the state, bro. Like, how can you stop?" And you know, he said, "Listen, I want to spend time," because he had just had a child the year before, and he's like, "I want to be there for my kid. I want to be a good dad." And for me, at that point, when he said that, my respect for him went from 80 to 120. Because, like you said, like, we only think of it from a bodybuilding lens, but there's so much of life outside of this. And all the time that you put into this, you're sacrificing that time somewhere else, right? And to God, at least we're lucky. Like, you know, we don't have a family to take care of and stuff like that. But once you have other people you have to take care of, and this starts bleeding into that, that's where I draw the line. And people that can make that decision just like that and say, you know what, I'm done. You know, I have a family to take care of. I respect them 100%, because there's nothing worse. And I've seen it in this industry. And I know all of you have seen it too. There's nothing worse than that guy you see at nationals or something that has spent all his money, and he has a family and he has a kid, and he just came to that show and he took second call out. And it's like, for what? You know, for what? So yeah.
And then you got to keep in mind the people around you too. Like, for example, like, you know, I'm 30 years old. I'm gonna be 30 real soon. And I'm like, okay, well, my girl's 26 and she wants to have kids and stuff. And I'm just like, you know, I do too, but I'm not in a place where it's smart. So I'm just like, you know, I'm also, it's her choice, right? At the end of the day, to stay with me. But it's just like, I'm putting her life on hold to make my dreams come true. So that eats at you too. You know, you're like, damn, like, you know, you are affecting those around you with the decisions you make.
First and foremost, it's good that you're even aware of that, because a lot of people are so, especially bodybuilders, are so selfish that they're not even aware of the impact they can have on other people, because they're only thinking about themselves and their goals, which is sometimes how you have to be. But it is good that you even, you respect your girl's feelings enough to understand that, yo, this is something she wants, and I'm not able to give her this right now. That's good insight. That's something that I'm thinking. I'm 31, right? I don't have a wife and kids, right? And it's like, I know that I can't do that right now, but that's something that I do want to do. But when do I do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you look at the logistics. Well, as men, we can kind of have kids whenever, but it takes two to tango. We not like who the fuck we getting pregnant? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you gonna be 40 and you're gonna find yourself a 25-year-old? Like, how does that work? Who are you with right now? At what point? You know what I'm saying? So if you're waiting the next 10 years, what if both of you can't have babies in 10 years?
Yeah,
That's not guaranteed.
It sucks too. It's like she's like super understanding, super supportive, and all that. But it's like, fuck, this puts a stress on you, right? It's like, fuck, man.
It does.
She's all about it. She believes in me. It's like, I better make this fucking happen, because she's putting her life on hold.
And you will. I swear to you, it will. You will. Joe, you forget how much you're blessed with, man. And I think your blessings are so much more than what you think you have. I think it's going to take you very far, man. I think you were born for this shit. I think you're on the right path. You're going to be a superstar. You're going to be on the Olympia stage next year, bro. 100%. I believe in you. And I don't say that to make you feel good. I really see it in you. Dude,
well, it's working.
You didn't come this far to just stop right now. I totally agree with you guys about the retirement and everything. But I think if you are in the 20s or 30s, you owe it to yourself to try. Because listen, you got blessed with some crazy fucking genetics. This isn't given to anyone. Let me tell you. And if you're past 40, then this is when I would have this conversation. But if you're 30s, in the 30s, in the 20s, you're blessed with this, bro. You will never get this chance ever again if you're older. Let's be honest. After you're 40, the body is not the same. At least on paper, statistically speaking, right? 20s and 30s are probably going to be better skin, better muscle bellies, better sweeps, better everything. You can throw yourself off the fucking bridge and you'll be okay, But after 40, I think you still have more tanks, more gas in the tank.
I'll say this. I'll say this, Zaid, because I'll give my personal experience, right? So I told myself, because I looked at this bodybuilding timeline thing and I said, how is this realistically going to be viable? I told myself, if I don't turn pro in 3 attempts, I'm done. I'm moving on, because I said, okay, now I'm turning 32, right? So to be logistically a really good pro, winning Olympias, not winning Olympias, but getting to the Olympic, consistently winning shows, it's going to take me maybe 2 years, right? So now I'm 34. So now, how do I ride that wave from 34 till maybe 42, 43? So that's about what, 6 to 8 years, right? That you can really make a viable career out of it. So now, if I don't make that in that timeline of 3 years, that keeps getting pushed back and back and back, right? So now I'm telling myself now I'm a pro. If I can't win a pro show in 4 years, I'm done, guys. I'm telling you straight up, I'm done. Because there's no point in me putting everything, all the work and all the sacrifice. And if I can't make that in 4 years with all the effort, then maybe that is my ceiling, and I'm okay with that. I just think that we also have to be realistic with ourselves, because there's nothing that hurts me more than seeing someone who, and sometimes there's something to be said for trying, consistently. But when it starts to sacrifice, you're sacrificing family, you're sacrificing other things that, can make you progress further in life. And you're not getting anywhere on this end. It's sort of like, maybe it's time to reconsider and reevaluate. Maybe this is where my ceiling really is,
That happens all the time, because we don't see those stories, right? Those stories don't get told. We only see the story of, this was the last nationals, and I got my pro card, and I became Kevin Levrone, or I became Flex Wheeler. But we don't see the other 100 guys who put in the same work who didn't amount to who didn't get to that level. You know what I'm saying? So at the point. Mm-hmm.
One thing I love about that, Gary Turner, Real G6, Jersey guy here, he's very vocal about that, right? It took him like what, over 12 years to get his pro card. And once he got it, he said, you know what? I'm done. And people are like, oh, you just got your pro card. But it's like, listen, it took the guy 12 years to get there, and he's very vocal about how much drugs he took just to get to that level, right? So it's like, okay, where do I go from here? And then he hung it up. He said, listen, I'm here for my kid now. His kid is doing wrestling, he's here for his family. You got to respect that. I think as bodybuilders too, you have to have in your head that timeline of when you feel it's time to hang it up. And that's why I respect, the Lee Haneys, the guys who go out when they're at the very top of their game. It takes a really analytical and self-assessment, in your mind to be able to do that. Because some guys will stay there, man, till it's like, listen, bro,
the wheels fall off.
It's time to go. It's time to go.
Yeah. That kid-like passion you have for bodybuilding, like in your early 20s, you can't continue to have that kid-like passion in your 30s because you're not a kid anymore. So life doesn't work that way. So that kid-like passion is great. Oh, I'm gonna be Mr. Olympia. Wow, it's cute. But when you get to a certain point, it's not cute anymore. That's the point where people have a hard time changing, right? When people are 37 years old and they're like, pro card, road to pro, and they're still getting second call out. You know what I'm saying? And your girl is there with your kids, and you're not putting any money on the table. That's not okay. That's not like, keep trying, just effort more. Nah, that's just not being a very good man in life. I'm sorry. It is what it is. At that point, you have to understand, listen, when you hit 30, you have to start, like you just said, start thinking about timelines. You have a certain timeline for this, that. I have my own timelines, right? I don't like to say it out loud because people try to change your mind and be like, no, don't say that. Don't do that. But you got to have certain timelines in your head if you want to live life the right way. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm a very open-minded person. I'm never gonna let one thing dictate me. I'm a lot deeper than bodybuilding. We have a bodybuilding podcast, but you guys know me well enough now to know that I'm a lot deeper than bodybuilding. So my money doesn't even come from bodybuilding, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want my money to come from bodybuilding. I don't want to have to rely on placings to make money. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like Joe can do that. Somebody like Stu can do that. Somebody like Nick can do that. Whether I can or cannot do it, that's just not the route I want to take personally, because I like to have full control in the money I make. That's why I don't work jobs, because my boss has control of how much money I make. I have to have full control of that. That's just the way I'm wired. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you have to be a certain way to do that because everybody can't juggle enough things to do that. I want full control of everything. I'm a control freak. Nobody tells me to wake up. I'll wake up at 1 p.m. if I want. I'll go to sleep at 6 in the morning. I want. And that's the only way I know how to live.
We know.
That's the only way I know how to live. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I didn't listen to my parents. I'm that guy. I don't listen to people well. I take advice well, but you can't tell me what to do. Can't nobody tell me what to do. I'm always going to do what the fuck I want. And I want to keep it that way. I could show you my inbox. I could show you the sponsors that reach out. I could give a fuck less. I don't want anybody to tell me shit. So if you know that about yourself, then you have to live your life a certain way. So same with bodybuilding, I'm not going to be that guy spending all my money and making nothing out of it. That can never be me, right? They said, I watched Top Boy. They said either you're, no, that's not a good analogy. Never mind.
I gotta tell you though. Think about it this way: if you have a big ass savings account and you add on to it every year, and you make your progress a little bit more financial, if you're doing good financially and you can afford to be a pro bodybuilder at 30, 35, even at 40, why not? If you can afford. Like, if you make a lot of money and you can afford this life and you're not broke and you can afford all other stuff for life, I see myself bodybuilding until it becomes not fun anymore. This is my line. Health, number one, and when it stops being fun. And if it's still fun, dude, I'm gonna continue to go until my fucking wheels fall off. But the moment it becomes, extremely unhealthy, to the point where I can potentially fucking die from this, or I'm not having fun anymore, this is when I'll stop. I'm not having any age on it. And honestly, bro, like, we keep forgetting we are truly genetically blessed to just be having the opportunity to be competitive one day. Sometimes I've never seen someone like who's less genetically gifted with a lot of good shape and good muscle bellies and stuff like that stop so early. That irks me a little bit when I see someone could go far, but they stop first. And of course, if they say health reasons, you can't say anything. Of course, you gotta respect that. But I feel like we're all fucking gifted with some shape or a lot of good genetics, and we should go forward. And until you keep fucking not staying healthy and it stays fun for you, this is when you stay in the game. When it stops being fun, you can just retire.
I think too, Zaid, like I think there has to be something that keeps you in the game. So like you said, fun, right? For me, I'm a competitive person. I know that for me to train, to train and kill myself in training, I need to know that I want to win. Fun is not enough. I need to know that if I'm going to put myself on stage,
winning is fun too.
Exactly. I want to win.
And you have a legit shot, so this makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
This makes it fun because you legitimately have a shot.
Yeah, and that's the only way I know my whole entire life. That's the only way I know I can push myself to the point where, if I'm feeling dead and I still have to wake up and do 2 extra hours of cardio, I want to win. So that's what's going to keep me going. Right?
Yeah.
Like, so everyone has to have that thing that, that you have that tethers you to this. Once I know that, let's say I'm a good pro bodybuilder, I'm winning pro shows, and I start to slip, I'm coming like 5th at Tampa Pro or Texas Pro, I'm done. It's time for me to go, because then the fun is not enough to keep me here. I'm however this comes out to the public, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. For me to train and for me to compete as a bodybuilder, winning is part of that equation. That's if I have to feel like I have a shot. Even if I don't have a shot, I have to feel like I have a shot in order for me to push myself to that place, And once I know I don't have a clear shot anymore, ever, it's time to go, man. Colossus is done.
Right. Yeah.
I can't do a show knowing damn well there's no chance of imagine no chance of you placing. I can't beat that guy. I can't be okay. Those are like at least 5 guys. Without a doubt, I can't beat them. What kind of how are you gonna push yourself?
But listen, this guy who won the Arnold Amateur last year, he's a light heavy guy. He won the overall turning pro, and he got an invite to this year's Arnold. You see him?
Yeah.
I forgot his name. He's gonna get last place pretty much at the Arnold, but he has a chance to stand next to Mr. Olympia and get some stage shots. I was thinking about that earlier today. Like, this guy is definitely last place, but it's a good thing to be on the Arnold stage.
I would do it for the experience. I would do it for the experience, and I would do it to see where I measure, because he's just starting his career. It's different. So,
bro, that's a great way to social network, bro.
Yeah, I would do it for that. But also, he's not doing the show, by the way.
Put it there, he did drop out. Yeah, he dropped out.
He dropped out. But in that case, I would do it for that. I would do it for that situation.
I don't know if I would do it, bro. I don't know if I would do it, bro.
I would. I would do all my fucking people I look up to and shit. I think it's cool.
Yeah, especially if you may be better than you think you are. You know what I mean? Let's say you come 15th out of 16. That's still good, man. I still take it.
I don't want to stand next to those guys at that point yet, though.
Bro, like, okay, I look at Samson and be like,
let's go, motherfucker. No, not To be honest, I don't know. That's a good. I guess you won't know till you're in the position. I don't know, man, because I don't want to. I gotta look my best, and I have to do some crazy shit to look my best. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to put myself through that for that. You know.
So, Beatty, you're thinking of it from one show. So, like, if I was in his position, I would definitely do that show, but that's not the end of my season, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm going to do other shows that I feel like I can have a chance of winning, but the fact that I know I can stand next to these guys, this is the only dude. Whenever think about it as an open pro bodybuilder, when are you ever going to get the chance to be invited to an Arnold ever again, unless you're winning pro shows? You may never know. It may take him another 3 years to get to the Arnold. It's almost the same as the Olympia at that point, right? This is your one time you ever get to compete at Arnold.
I'm kind of okay with that though. Like if I'm not good enough to qualify, like there's no right or wrong answer to this, right? But if I'm not good enough to qualify, I don't feel like I need to be up there. I got to be honest with you. You know, I don't know. I don't like. Am I a fan of these guys? Yeah, but I could just go to the Arnold and say what's up to them at the Arnold. You know, I don't think I need to stand next to them unless I deserve to stand next to them. I don't know. That's just how I personally feel. Is it great for pictures?
I think if the invitation is between your hands, I think you'll fucking dump all this bullshit out of the window. I think you're gonna go with it. So, you're actually invited.
Easier said than done, baby. Look at that shit. Fuck.
You see that fucking Arnold? You see that Arnold logo on that contract, bro? Dude, you're signing.
What do I get out of? Well, what do I get out of it?
Fucking Pam oil and shit. Spray your ass.
You actually get a lot. Maybe you get a lot.
You pose really nice, so you can win the best poser award.
Someone's gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, "Damn, he's got some big arms. That guy could be good." You know what I mean? Like,
look at those feet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know if
ever get an invite ever again. Who knows? God forbid, of course. But
I don't
shot. You know,
I don't have an issue with never getting an invite. If they don't feel like I deserve an invite, that doesn't bother me. You know, that doesn't make me feel.
Bro, that's like going to a pro football game. They're like, "Hey kid, come stay on the sideline with us. You're not gonna play. Come stay on the sideline with us." You're like, "No,
I would do that. I would do that. I wouldn't mind being front row or backstage, but I just don't. I don't know, but I don't feel like I need to stand next to them if I don't belong there.
I guess my question to you, Beatty, based on that is, what's your goal for bodybuilding? Like competitive bodybuilding, what's your goal?
Literally to go as far as my physique allows me to. That can mean a lot of things. You know, whatever my physique is capable of in the judge's eyes, that's whatever my ceiling is, that's where I'm gonna fall. You know?
The reason why I'm asking that, right? So I think the last episode you brought up about Kai Green and Brandon Curry, right? When Brandon Curry was a lot smaller, he was coming last in all these shows. Dude, the fact that, think about it this way too, you may not get a chance to stand next to a Samson, you know, in the next 5 years. Let's say you're starting to come into your own as a bodybuilder. Maybe, I don't know, Samson's won 3 Olympias and he says he's done. This is the only chance. You may be last, but you got to compete with him and you got to experience the stage with some of these guys.
You're not
you're part of
You're not going to stand next to him though. But you're not going to stand next to him if you're not being compared to him.
You never know.
You might in the group
comparison, bro. Group comparison. You never know.
No, you might in the group call out. You might in the group call out. Yeah.
But like that does nothing for me emotionally. Like I would rather
somebody slipping. If you are 100% that day and you catch somebody slipping, they're like flat or they overfilled. You could do that. You could be like the right guy in the right time.
It's like Olympia, dude. It's like Olympia, right? Like Patrick Moore when he came 9th at the Olympia, he was shredded, peeled. Patrick was one of the small. He was one of the smallest guys at Olympia. That's the truth. I'm sure going into that show, he probably thought, I have no shot of coming nothing less than 12th. You know, but he came 9th. He was fucking peeled, dude, and that made his career. You know, as a bodybuilder. So it's like you never know, bro.
that analogy to me is like the analogy of like, yo, why don't you just show up to this random show and get your pro card? Like, that's not what it's about for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the Olympia, bro. It ain't no random show.
no, but no, not if I qualify for the Olympia, I'm going. But if I win the amateur and get an invite, I'm not good. If I get the invite because they just sent me an invite, of course I'm going. But if I get it just because I won the amateur, that to me is not a qualification. Like that, that's not something I would want to
became a pro, right? The guy who won became a pro.
Yeah, of course, yeah. He won.
So he belongs on a pro stage. Clearly, that may not be the level pro stage he should be on to start, but that's like saying, for example, okay, Justin Shire and Ross Flanagan, who placed at the very end of the Olympia, they qualified. Of
course,
and they're at the very end, but they still did it. You know, like that doesn't mean they didn't belong up there.
I think of it like the Stews and the who was the other guy that turned pro this year and went into the next show, where Stu just did Tampa the next year, or Nick Walker, right? Nick Walker won North Americans and he went into the next show. It's like at that point, your first pro show, the point is to measure where you are. You know, like you need to know where you stand, and then you can equally evaluate how far you need to go. Because Beatty, you've been to these shows where you see guys that are crazy. You know, when you see them on stage and you go back to you're like, oh, I'm not that far off. You know, like size wise, I think I'm a little closer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you need to have that. You need to have that evaluation too. And there's, in my opinion, there's no better place to do it than the Honor. It won't be my main show for the season.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely do it if I'm invited.
Yeah.
Look how much attention Stu got by guest posing next to Hunter.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
So but with that kind of exposure, you're exposing yourself to this guy looks like this next to this guy. Like it's I don't see
there's no drawback.
The negatives. I don't see the negatives.
As a competitor, there's no pressure. There's zero pressure. There's zero pressure. No one expects you to win, and no one expects you to place outside of last. So anything outside of that is a win. Yeah, there's no pressure.
Yeah, that's awesome, but I just don't got the desire for that. I mean, like, listen, like me personally, I'm not gonna go straight from USA's to Tampa unless I know damn well I look like a really good pro. That's the only way I would do that. Which Stu kind of did.
Nick Trigilli told me to do that. He messaged me after I won USA. He said, "Go to Tampa, like go do what Derek did." And I didn't do it because Derek did it as he won USA's and went into 212. He had the size for 212. Like I was like, I'm not up there yet with the Open when I won USA's. I need a little bit more. So I was like, I'm not gonna do my pro debut and like place wherever the fuck they're gonna place me. I want to kind of guarantee I'll place higher. But
Ken asked the perfect question. Like he can't ask you why do I compete? And I think that's a very important question. I think it's important to dive into why you compete, and then your answer is always going to be different based off your why. You know, I don't care about where I stand per se. I care about if I do a show, do I feel like I can win or be in the mix? You know, but it's like just to see myself stand next to Samson, I don't really care. I'm not beating Samson.
But what's the difference between you doing that and then going to the Olympia?
What you mean?
Because like when you go to the Olympia, unless you're like really fucking good, you're not gonna win. Like, so why would you do the Olympia and then not this? If you're for sure not gonna fucking win, kind of thing.
If I win a pro show, I'm for sure doing the Olympia because I feel like if I win a pro show, I deserve to be there 100%. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. You know, I don't feel that if I won the amateur and they got invited to the Olympia that I deserve to be there. Even with points, if I get points to go to Olympia, I don't feel like I deserve to be there personally. Like you can argue that and be like, well, technically you do, but I don't really feel like I should personally. It's just personal preference. It doesn't mean that's like a good thing or a bad thing. It's just everybody's brain works differently. Like I don't like this handout or like I don't like pity or anything that feels like pity to me. Like, oh yeah, well you get an invite. Like, nah, let me earn that shit. If I can't earn it, I'm okay with that. I can go to sleep with that, knowing that I didn't earn it, but I tried my best, but I just didn't reach that level. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how my brain is wired. Like if somebody tries to give me something, but oh maybe you didn't win, but you still, I don't want that consolation prize. Yeah, you can go to the Arnold since you won the Arnold.
The difference there is you did earn it. I mean, people that are going to the Arnold Amateur, they're going to the Arnold Amateur because part of the reason is they want to compete. If they turn pro and win the overall, they know they have a shot at going to the Arnold the next year. So in essence, that's why I asked, why do you compete? Because in your case, you would never even go compete at the Arnold Amateur to begin with. Because everyone that does that show, they definitely have that in mind. Because you're not looking at it, but you're looking at it completely from a competitive standpoint. You're not looking at it from a business standpoint too. There is an expectation that you won the Arnold Amateur. No one cares. It's not like you're making ticket sales off of you if you go to the Arnold the next year. But from a business standpoint too, it kind of shows like your own commitments as well. Like if I'm given that contract, bro, I'm doing it. I don't care if I'm coming last. I'm
going only for the jacket.
Arnold jacket. Give me a jacket. I want to get that jacket. And I'm rocking that jacket every day.
That's what I said. I qualify for the O. I'm gonna wear that fucking O jacket to bed, bro. Like I don't fucking every night.
When you say business though, what do you mean from a business standpoint?
So like obviously they're gonna send you a contract, right, for the show, right? You winning the Arnold Amateur, depending on whoever you are, it's kind of like you have to know that is part of the expectation. You know what I mean? It's part of the expectation. If you win Arnold Amateur overall, no one's expecting you to come to the Arnold the next year and win, but it's part of the expectation that you will plan to do the Arnold the next year. If not, why would they have that? Why would they have that direct line from Arnold Amateur to the Arnold Classic? That's part of the incentive of doing that show.
Yeah, I guess if you don't do it, you're kind of wasting that spot. But that's the thing. I just wouldn't do the Arnold Amateur to begin with. I'm not interested.
That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you that question, which makes sense. You know?
I guess this is the same reason why I only do the USAs. Right? It doesn't make sense. Well, it's the same pro card they give, but I don't really care. I just
wanted the title when I did USAs. I wanted
that's my whole point. But like, let's say if you didn't win, and people are like, whoa, do North Americans or do nationals, and you could be like, nah, I'm good, and they'll be like, but that's dumb. Why wouldn't you do that? It's like, it's not about if it's dumb or not. That's just my preference. You know what I'm saying? We all have different viewpoints in life. You know what I'm saying? I just, well, like I said, I'm very hard headed, and I like things my way, and I'm always gonna do things my way, whether it's like smart or not smart. I have a certain way I do things, and I'm just that way. You know, I'm just kind of that way.
I'm kind of stubborn like that too, though. Like for example, if I didn't win USAs, I think Paul told me the backup plan should go to North Americans, right? But I'm like, like not take away from anybody's lineups and shit. But if I couldn't win the lineup I was in, I'm not gonna feel good about going to another show and be like, oh, well, I could beat these guys though. Like, I should be able to show up where the fuck's there. I deserve to win because I deserve to win, not because I fell into the right place at the right time. I wouldn't feel good about it.
North Americans would have been tough, Joe. It would have been a tough show.
No. But I'm saying I had no idea who was going to show up there.
I'm just messing with you.
I was like, I hope that didn't come out wrong.
No, I'm just messing with
you. You never really know. Some USAs are stacked. Some USAs are weak. Some nationals are stacked. Some nationals are weak. Like you never really know which show is going to be the most competitive. It's usually never like it's never all the shows. It's always like 1 year one is more competitive, but it's more so like how you feel about it. Granted, once you turn pro, nobody really cares, but it's more personal. Like people don't know Nick Walker won the North America. People don't really care what he won. Like how you got it, nobody cares, but you care, and that's important sometimes. Let's do some questions. I feel like we've been on for a while.
Oh, before we go on, I don't want anybody who's watching to think that I'm thinking about leaving. I'm not going nowhere. I'm winning a bunch of shit. Like what the fuck? But that was me being transparent with, as like, you know, how I come off and stuff. This shit's fucking hard. So anybody watching, like, I just want you to, like, I can relate to whoever's doing that. Like, or you can relate to me because it's fucking hard.
Instagram's a highlight, right? Like, you see all the good. You see all the good. You don't know what people are going through on the back end. So, yeah,
bro,
it's good.
It's funny when people be like, "Yo, I see you, boy. You doing your thing, man. I'm watching you. Yo, congrats you." I'm like, "What the fuck? You congratulate me? What the fuck? What the fuck have I done? What are you talking about? Yeah, you doing it big in LA. I'm watching you, bro. I'm like, not really. I ain't doing shit, but just working like I've always worked, you know. So, but like Instagram, it makes you seem like you doing shit. You out and about, and you getting all this money. And nah, man, we just fucking working like everybody else, man.
That's it.
You know. All right. So yeah, social media is not real life. I think it's important for people to remember that. And like Joe said, none of us are retiring. We're just speaking freely. But nobody's retiring anytime soon.
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. Fucked. Put too much time and effort into this shit.
Oh yeah.
Who was the worst Mr. Olympia? We can't do that one. That's rude.
There was a guy that won it like one fucking time, like early on.
I know you're talking about.
I can't remember his name though.
We know that we're talking about. That's everybody's answer. That's he passed away recently. What's his name?
Yeah.
Charles Dickerson.
Charles Dickerson. Yeah, Charles Dickerson.
Yeah. That's who it was.
Yeah. But we're not saying that's the answer. We just
we're just saying
that's what everybody says. Yeah.
We just brainstorming.
You know, so interesting? That guy, what's his name? The guy who owns Redcon One, Aaron Singerman.
Yeah.
He bought a Sandow trophy, but I don't know from which Mr. Olympia. He has a Sandow in his office. But
one of those guys.
Yeah, probably.
Is one of those one-time winners, probably.
Shit. Yeah, I wonder who it is.
Bro, if I won it one time, I wouldn't be like, "Here you go." What the fuck?
I'm not gonna sell it. Yeah,
that's all I got.
I'm not gonna sell it.
That's dope, though.
Best play. Has bodybuilding ruined your relationship with food?
Yes. I don't really enjoy shit, and then when I get a taste of it, it's like I know I'm gonna lose it again soon. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, early on, it made me like a binge eater because I would diet hard and then just fucking binge like fuck. Now, I just don't really enjoy food the same.
Yeah, I don't enjoy things the same anymore. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, it's almost like it changes your palate, right? So like, I know for me, post show, 2 weeks post show, dude, I'll eat like crazy, right? Just anything and everything. But after that's done, those 2 weeks, I don't even want a cheat meal, bro. I don't even want a cheat meal. You know? So like, I don't think it has ruined it. I think it's changed my relationship with food. So one thing I would say is like when I look at food now, which I think is weird, but it's probably normal to you guys. You think of the numbers, right? So I look at a meal, let's say I'm out, right? And maybe like they serve me something. I'm like, does this thing have oil in it? Like how much carbs is this? How much protein? How much meat is in this meal? Things like that. So my relationship with food has just changed in general. But I don't think like I still think I enjoy food. I'm not at you guys stage. I think I enjoy food to an extent, but I don't think that I look at food the same way as I used to.
Yeah, bro. Like if I have a cheat meal and it's like real low in protein, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to drink a protein shake on the side of this bitch to feel better about
it. Or like I love like cheese pizza, right? Like cheese pizza is something I love, but like even now, if I wanted that in bodybuilding, it's not considered a cheat. So if I just wanted to go off plant, right, and have cheese pizza, dude, I'm thinking like, shit, there's no protein in this thing, you know? Like I just completely botched my diet. So shit like that. But I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm binging and, you know, coming back and stuff like that. I don't do that.
Well, in off season, I have zero cravings. The idea of a burger or pizza makes me nauseous. So I don't even think about it. Off season, I don't look forward to food at all. And I don't even eat like a shit ton of food. I'm probably on, I don't know, 5K calories, if that, and maybe 4,500. but that's enough food for me that I just don't look forward to meals. I get a little hungry maybe after the gym, but some chicken and rice, I'm good to go. You know, that's about it. After the show, I get like a crazy appetite though, crazy appetite. But even just clean
even
food,
that, it fucks up my stomach once I eat it.
Yeah,
I all
happens
fucked
too.
up.
Yeah, I also been eating clean food so long that I can't have certain cheat meals. I can't have like a whole pizza anymore. The other time I had, what did I have there? I had lasagna. I love lasagna, bro. It fucked up my stomach so bad. I was disgusted at myself. I'm like, this is disgusting. But it's lasagna. Who the fuck doesn't like lasagna? And it was good lasagna, but it killed my stomach so bad. I'm not having lasagna. I'm not.
When you went to Buca di Beppo? Is that what?
Oh no, that time that went down well because post show my digestion is pristine, fucking pristine digestion after the show. But then after that, it goes to after like the rebound, it goes to shit. After like 4 weeks, it goes to shit. But
it goes to peanut butter shit.
Yeah, it turns to peanut butter shit. I don't know about y'all, but up to 4 weeks after the show, I could digest the fucking. I don't know if I ate a piece of metal, I could digest this shit. I could digest anything, bro. My stomach is like it's iron, So, but I could eat paper fucking after the show. All right, yeah. We all answered that. Zaid, how's your relationship?
Oh no, for me personally, I don't have any problems yet, which is a good thing. And I think my thought process is a little different. I think about food as like earning money. You want a certain body, you're gonna eat for it. So there's a price, and this is the price. You eat in a certain way to get certain look. Once you're not on the stage, which is where it really matters, dude, who gives a fuck how fat or how shredded are you? It matters on that day. So if you truly accept that, it makes your life a lot easier, and you can just focus on growing muscle and not too much worried about staying lean. And if you get too off plan, a little mini cut that would do it a good little sensitivity check for you, and then you can push back up. But I feel like thankfully I'm still in the area where it's okay. I can enjoy it, but I'm willing to hate it for a while for getting massive. Mark my words. It's okay if it gives me that, but at least you're fucking huge. So this is the trade-off. You can't have everything your way.
The reason why I'm laughing, Zaid, is because everything you said, I understand what you're saying, but based on the question, you do have a problem. If you consider,
I was like,
it's normal to us. It's normal to us, but if you consider food to earning money, then you have a problem,
bro. If you have a conscious mind about what you're eating, you have a problem. People just eat, bro. If
they don't care.
If girl wants a bag of chips, she'll fucking have it. If I want a bag of chips, I'm like, fuck, do I really want that bag of chips? Like, do I deserve that bag of chips?
Can you imagine some just regular person coming to Zaid, and maybe Zaid is some nutritionist like, you got to eat like you earn your food.
yeah. I just gotta say also, I write down everything I eat, so this helps me a lot with just keeping track. So I feel like to control these thoughts and how you feel about your food, if you have certain bad relationship with food, writing down every single meal you eat helps a lot, just to track down what you're truly eating, and then you can find out where you're fucking up.
Have you ever heard that phrase, intuitive eating? I'm like, motherfucker, you mean just being normal? Like, what? Like, what the fuck is that?
I feel like basically everything Zaid described is not very normal as far as food, but it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not normal for sure.
Yeah, let's just say I have a good grip now. Maybe later I lose my grip, but for now it's all right.
For bodybuilding, Zaid is normal. To regular person, yes, we all have a problem with food.
Hey, you know what? It's pretty crazy that Zaid dieting so hard like he did for USA's did not become a binge eater. That's actually quite impressive. How hard you had to suffer for that one. Honestly, I don't think there's many people that would not get fucked up after that.
Yeah.
So I had to pay the price. Like I told you, I work like this. If you need to, dude, honestly, it's funny you mentioned that. I swear to God, a few months before the show, I knew it was going to be between you and me on the overall. I really thought I needed it. So you lived in my brain rent free for a while. And I got sliced, man. I was thinking if I have a chance, it's gonna be through the conditioning route.
Yeah, well, it was keeping him motivated. He was like, Joe gets fat as fuck. There's no way he'll be in shape.
No, I never doubted you. I honestly never doubted you. I just knew it was gonna be you. Imagine, like you and me, we live 30 minutes away from each other. Yeah. All the other bodybuilders I knew is gonna be just you and me on that stage. And
he wasn't even thinking about the
man, bro. It takes a crazy man to do this shit. And after the show, I know I had to grow, so I can't just be worried about my leanness after the show. So I was like, all right, if it's not on the stage, it doesn't count anyway. So let's just rebound the right way. And let's be honest, dude, we don't get fat really quickly. So you can eat 4 fucking weeks in a row and you still not get fat. You know,
I'll say
no,
this,
I don't think so. I think it's a bunch of water.
I'll say this, Zayd, about that, because at the time before the USAs was coming, I was following it because originally I was supposed to do USAs as well. Andrew wanted me to do it, but costs to fly to California, do it, all that stuff. North Americans was just easier. That's why I picked North Americans. But I was following you at the time, and Zayd, I remember I saw you on one of those bodybuilding pages, Buys and Tries or something, and I remember you looked homeless. Because your hair was everywhere, your beard was full, and I looked at you and I said, "This guy is dangerous because this guy has put everything into this prep." You could just see it, like your eyes were fucking dead, bro. You were just like full hair, full beard. I was like, "Yeah, this guy's coming. He wants to win. Like this is what it looks like when you want to win."
Yeah.
You know?
There's a point of prep when you stop getting haircuts. Yeah, where I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I can't be bothered to drive to my barber. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. No haircuts. You know, at that point is when shit gets real, and you got to save that final haircut for 3 days out. You know, but until then,
actually, 1 day out, dude, it was a total transformation. 1 day out. yeah, it was cool. Thank you, dude. Thank you. These are the 2-hour days on the stairs, dude. Like these were the death fucking zone, I call it. After an hour and a half, you're in the death zone. You know what I mean? Yeah. And but fuck, man, it was a good time. I can't wait to do it again.
You know what? In like a fucked up way, it's like as painful as it is, you kind of like it. Like you like to feel something. Like human beings want to feel. A lot of depression and shit comes from not feeling enough. Like you're not getting, you're not feeling.
I think it's that level of fulfillment. Like for example, like you said, 2 hours on the stairs. When you're there, like I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do this, but your legs keep going, and then eventually the time runs out, and then you're like, I don't know how the fuck I just did that, but this is the best feeling in the fucking world. It's weird.
Sometimes there's been times where I'll have tears coming out, then I'll start like laughing. It's just weird. It's like just random emotions. Like by like 4 weeks out, it's like it's weird. The emotions are all over the place. I can't tell if I have no emotion or too much emotion. It's kind of crazy at that point, but I kind of like it. I gotta be honest. I just don't want anybody to be around me that I'm like rude to. Like, so you know what I'm saying? So if I have like a girlfriend or close friends, I just want to make sure I'd rather kind of be alone so that I'm not like worrying about like, oh, was that rude? Oh, am I being a certain way? I don't want to think about that. I just want to be a fucking animal, straight animal.
Bro, I'm weird, bro. Like my girl didn't know how to handle it at the time. So like she would leave to her parents' house, hang out with her sisters and stuff while I was here all by myself. And I would get so mad. She's like, well, it looks like you don't want anybody around. I'm like, look, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to say anything, but I want you to. Yeah. I'm like, what don't you understand about that?
Oh, man.
Good days. What was the question? Good days.
Yeah. I yesterday, so one of my clients, I did a big transformation for him. He was an Indian guy, Beatty. he's gonna go back to where he came from to because he flew over here to get trained by me. So he's going back and he wanted to celebrate with Indian food and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So me, Paul, and Jalissa go out with him. And as I'm driving to this Indian restaurant, because obviously it's cheat meal, right? I'm like, damn, Jay, are you ready to take on my prep? Because she goes through it the most out of everybody. Her and Levi.
Oh, yeah.
It gets tough, man. These days are rough, fucking rough. I don't want to talk to no one. I just want to sleep. That's it.
Yeah.
I just want to go home and be off my feet and just sleep.
Yeah, she would get bothered at one point. She's like, well, I don't even know why you want me around. Like, you're always on your phone. And if you look at my phone as she's saying this, it's a bunch of like fucking like dessert videos and shit that I'm looking at. That's all I'm looking at. So I'm just fucking starving,
That's hilarious.
I'm glad you said desserts.
Yeah. I'm talking about real cakes.
Yeah.
All right.
Test is just test, Joe. You know that.
It's just a test. Yeah. Something looking good about that donut hole, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys like off season or prep more?
I've learned to like prep more. This off season changed my whole outlook on bodybuilding.
It's boring. Off season's boring. I get if you ask me this early on, I was an off season bodybuilder. I just liked being strong and lifting heavy ass weight. I didn't care. I hated dieting. I just wanted to be big, strong, and lift all the weights in the gym. Now I get bored in the off season. Right now I'm bored, bro. Fucking bored. I gotta be honest with you. So
I don't think any competitive bodybuilder enjoys the off season. I think we all enjoy preps because that's when you see where your hard work is, right? You see the efforts of your hard work. So we all listen, because in off season, some of I'm still doing cardio. I'm eating my 6 meals. There's more, but I'm still doing cardio. I'm still doing almost everything the same as prep, outside of just higher cardio amounts and less food. But I'm clearly not shredded, right? So it's like, yeah, I think most bodybuilders we prefer the preps than the off season. Like, I remember last off season, I couldn't wait to start prep. I ended up 4 weeks out, wishing I was back in the off season. But when you're in off season, you can't wait to start prep, man. I don't know anyone that's like, yeah, I love being in the off season for like 2 years straight. It's not.
If you love it, you're probably not doing it.
You see, it changes daily.
You're probably fat. You're probably fat.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I don't think you're doing off season right. You're probably just eating whatever you want when you want, and you're probably just chilling. You know what I'm saying? But if you're shoving a bunch of clean food, and training really hard, you're not gonna feel too great. You know what I'm saying? Everybody says prep.
Yeah.
How was the carrot cake? You guys ever had Cheesecake Factory carrot cake?
Bro, that carrot cake is legendary. Nick's on to something. That was what I had post USA's.
Oh, you see? I don't even eat carrot cake, but that carrot cake was better than the cheesecake, which is
really.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've never.
I don't know if I've
tried.
I don't know if I've ever even had a carrot cake outside of that one, but
bro,
that's a good carrot cake.
Is like 1,800 calories, bro. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's pretty dense. All right. Only Joe had it. Did Zayd have it?
Yeah, I actually had it a week ago. It's amazing, dude. It's one of the best cakes. But definitely not over cheesecake. Cheesecake is king.
Generally, I do prefer cheesecake, but I think this cake is better quality than Cheesecake Factory cheesecake.
If you try the mango key lime cheesecake at Cheesecake Factory, you will change your mind. Oh,
mango
dude,
key lime?
It's amazing. You should try it.
It's good. It's funny you went to Cheesecake Factory, Beatty. After the Indian food place, me and Jay and Paul went to go get cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory.
Oh yeah.
And I thought about getting carrot cake, and I was like, nah, I'll get cheesecake because cheesecake's king.
Yeah.
but that's literally what I did. I literally just got carrot cake. I didn't get any food
Yeah, that
from
was it.
Cheesecake
That's all we
Factory.
got. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. Let's say a girl from Fit Nation wanted us to answer this question, but she's gonna remain anonymous. I can't find the question, but I'm pretty sure I kind of know the question in my head already. It was basically, what kind of girls are we into? Like, do we prefer like a regular gym girl, a regular fit gym girl, or like kind of like a more competitor, buff looking gym girl?
So if I go first,
Yeah,
I prefer lifestyle over competitor. Like, I don't even care if you need to be somewhat fit, but like, as long as you're going to the gym and you somewhat care about how you look, that's all I really care about. I don't need you to compete.
Yeah.
I'll go next. Yeah, I think competing is not a a prereq for me, but I do think you have to have an active lifestyle. So I don't care. You don't even have to lift weights, but you have to. Let's say you're a runner. You want to run track all day. Fine. You have to at least be working towards something from a physical perspective. Because I don't know about you guys. I've been in relationships in the past where the time you spend in the gym is a problem to someone, because let's be honest, they just don't get it. Right. For people that are like us, you need someone who's actively working towards their own physical goals. I think so. My girlfriend is a power lifter. She's a competitive power lifter. She doesn't do bodybuilding at all.
That's dope.
But it kind of works. So for me, I think that's what it is. I mean, if I'm talking about physical, I do like a little muscle. I'll be honest. I think a girl that has a little bit of muscle on her, it means that person is putting in work. They're not just going to the gym to take selfies, in front of the mirror. They're putting in some work as well. So I do like. There's something about that hard work that I do like too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Ken on this one, dude. Totally on with you on this one. I don't have a prerequisites for anything. Honestly, I don't. I'm fine if you didn't do anything, but I only ask if you care for your health. Because if a person who cares for their health is gonna do some type of exercise, and that's just fine with me. You know what I mean? And I don't relate my body standards to a female, because they're never going to be on the standard that I want, so I don't have a standard anymore, if that makes any sense. Plus, like, you always want to match up with someone who has a good heart versus a good body. But a little muscle is fine. I like muscle has no gender for me, and I think if muscle is earned, so this is a statement to be said, you know what I mean? And kind of in the middle, not too much, but not too little. Your masculinity shouldn't be affected by someone else's muscle mass, if that makes sense. Yeah, like who does a good job having that, and I'm kind of okay with that too. By the way, what's her name? The current Miss Olympia. She is fucking gorgeous, dude, and body and face.
Which one? Which division?
The actual Miss Olympia. What's her name? Andrea Shaw.
Andrea Shaw. Yeah. Like, I was talking about that on podcast. I feel like the guys was looking at me crazy, but I'm like, yeah, Andrea Shaw. She got that feminine thing going on. She all girly and shit.
Dude, hey, you got some muscle, you girl. She wins.
Yeah. Andrea Shaw. Good. I mean, if you want to hop on the podcast, you know what I'm saying, shoot me a DM. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But
no preference is better. Yeah.
I think what Zayd is saying, let's be real, bro. I think we're all at the age that it's a lot deeper than looks for us. Like, what else do you bring to the table? Like, who are you as a person? You know what I'm saying? How invested are you in this? Are you a good person? Are you nurturing? Are you caring? Yeah, that's really kind of what men look for more. Looks obviously is the attraction, so you have to be attracted to the person. Y'all know me. I don't have like preferences when it comes to looks that much. I like all complexions. I like tall, short, maybe not skinny, but I like slim. You got a little ass on you, I'm good to go. So I don't really get caught up in that. If we vibe, I feel your energy. And this whole online dating that people do, I can't do that because I gotta see your energy. I don't care how you look on a fucking perfect picture. That don't mean anything. You could look perfect in a picture and not be my type, or you could look horrible in the picture. Maybe not horrible. You could look not so good on a picture and be my type in person. So it's like I gotta feel your energy. So I don't really care about any about that. Muscle, I like muscle. I like regular gym girls. Like y'all said, you just have to care about your health. You have to have discipline. You have to. If you just put anything in your mouth, I'm not trying to date a girl who will put anything in her mouth. Literally, you know what I'm saying. So you gotta have.
Pause.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It goes that way too. So you got to have enough discipline to be able to not put something in your mouth. So you gotta have that. And I would like you to be in some kind of shape. You know. I don't want you to just to kind of get fat on me. Not to be shallow, but it is what it is. You gotta look good to somebody. I like muscle. I like regular fit build. I like all of it. The girl asking to put. Huh?
I think it's hard too with bodybuilding because like when you're a competitor. If someone doesn't even have a background of taking care of their physical health, it's a problem. Like think about it. Like I've had preps where me and my girl, we didn't go out to dinner for 6-7 months straight. How many regular people that don't understand this can really do that?
None.
So
Very
you have
few.
to take those things. It's an issue, in regular relationships.
When you're a bodybuilder, the field of girls you date gets really narrow.
Yeah.
Now that might seem like a negative. I think it's a positive because that girl that's willing to go through that, that's the girl you want to be with. So it narrows your field down that there's less bullshit. So you're actually better off that way. You're better off dating less. You're better off dating less girls and dating a specific kind of girl who's gonna ride through the hard shit. Because a lot of girls, they're there when shit is good. When shit goes south, they're not there to ride. You know what I'm saying? But back to the girl that actually asked the questions. You perfect how you are. I'll take you exactly like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna take my glasses off for that. So I take you exactly like that. I want you just like that.
He took his glasses off to say that.
I took my glasses off for that one.
You went full T-Pain mode on that one.
Come on, stop playing. Stop playing. Don't worry about what no men like. Trust me. We like what you got going on. All right.
We or just you?
I know, right?
Yeah, speak for yourself, baby.
Yeah, you're right. No, not we. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys are spoken for. Me personally, I like what I'm seeing. I'll say that. All right. Let's see. I lost my questions. I took my glasses off and lost my questions. Right. Going pro and classic 1 year. Sometimes I don't like asking these questions like on people's potential because it's like anything can happen, anything cannot happen. He's saying likelihood of going pro in classic with 1 year off season. Like, I don't know. It depends. Who knows? Favorite kind of cardio. Something you would want to use it. Okay, favorite kind of cardio. That's kind of boring, but
easy.
But
Stairmaster.
Stairmaster.
Oh yeah.
You guys like Stairmaster?
Yeah.
Stairmaster, bro.
It humbles you.
Yeah.
I can't do it when I'm sure Joe doesn't do it at 300 pounds, right?
No, once I hit 280, I stop.
Okay, the fucking quads, bro. They get like it's like you're doing lunges for 30 minutes. My quads get so pumped. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I can't do it. So I got to be like in the 260s, 270s maybe to be able to do it.
I've always done Stairmaster for cardio up until recently. Like I got to a certain point where my legs would get worn out real quick picking up my body weight. So I've been doing an incline treadmill instead.
You can't even. It takes away from your leg training. How the fuck did Ronnie? How did Ronnie do Stairmaster?
He did treadmill, didn't he?
But later in his career, right? In the what was it?
In his house, he had it in his house, right?
He had the Stairmaster in his house.
Yeah. You see him doing it like for hours. Yeah.
How the fuck did Ronnie do Stairmaster? Though?
It wasn't
what
stairs,
the fuck?
was it?
Yeah, no. Are you talking about his early videos? He did treadmill in early videos, but
later on?
after any video after Cost of the Redemption, Chad said that he tried it and he loved it, and then he got one in his house. So for Relentless and whatever he had after Cost with Redemption,
2003, he did it for 2003. I know that for sure.
Oh, okay. So he did it in Cost Redemption. You're talking about Unbelievable. He did Incline Treadmill.
Yeah,
but I don't know how the fuck Randy did.
Kai Green too, bro, for his biggest
Kai Green did. Kai Green did, but he was kind of hunched over, but he still did it though.
So did Jay. Jay would do it hunched over.
A lot of people do. Big ass back. I know. For me, baby, like for me, I would usually when I do it, I would also like raise my heel because I'm trying to get some calf action in there too. So I would raise my heel at each step. You know what I mean? So like it takes a little bit away from the quad actually when you do it that way. So the calves are taking a little bit of the.
I've done that, bro. My calves got so pumped and like kind of
that's
kind of hurts.
I do that a lot. You know, I'm trying to get bigger calves.
So we all say Stairmaster besides me.
Yeah. What do you?
No, I mean I loved Stairmaster until I got pretty fucking heavy. Now it's like really there's a lot of effort.
like is a strong word, but let's say incline treadmill is the best of the evils for me.
I like incline treadmill the most personally, like nowadays.
Yeah, it don't bang up my legs. My knees feel good. I don't feel like I have to recover from cardio.
Yeah, I used to like Stairmaster because it felt like you get a quad pump, like a nice little quad pump.
Yeah.
When you're too heavy, bro, for a long duration of time, that shit fucks you up.
My problem is it's the only cardio I do. It's the only cardio I feel like I do that I'm like, damn, I really worked hard. You know?
I know what you mean. Yeah, I agree. You know? Well, with the treadmill, if you incline it high enough, sometimes you feel like that, but the Stairmaster is different. There's a different level of work you feel from it. Yeah. Okay. I don't know how guys. I've done the bike, but I gotta literally be going like full speed. Like nonstop full speed. I can't even do like hit. I have to do like permanent hit. I have to be going as fast as possible for the whole hour for me to feel it. And by then my quads start to get cramped up and stuff. So the amount of effort I have to do and I have to keep that up in my head, it's too much thinking. You want to kind of just go. You don't want to have to be like, oh, if I slow down, I'm not burning fat, you know? So that's just
what do you guys think before we segue from that? What do you guys think? Because I know this whole new school of things about steps versus doing cardio. Like, what's you guys' take on that? Because like I understand that you can get shredded from just walking and doing steps, but I think there's also a metabolic response you get from just doing cardio, you know, versus just doing 12K steps a day. Like, what's you guys' take on that?
I'm not getting shredded from those steps.
Yeah, I'm basic, so just tell me the fucking diet and the cardio amount, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Like, I don't want to track steps now, too.
Me too.
Fuck that. Steps is just extra for me, extra credit. If you walk a little extra today, yeah, you might lose an extra pound. Good. Well, who cares? You lost an extra pound. You'll just get the refeed meal earlier, if that. But I'm not finna be walking my dog and counting that shit as cardio, man. That's wild.
That's why we're on the same podcast,
secondary cardio. Secondary cardio.
Yeah, but it's just extra credit the way I look at it, you know. But nowadays, a lot of coaches are doing that. Granted, I've seen people in good shape doing that, but the most shredded people I see are always the most basic people, you know. Granted, like John Jewett, he's tracking his steps, but he's also doing cardio. He's not saying, well, since I got 20K steps today, I'm gonna skip cardio. He likes to calculate everything. He likes to know everything. So him just knowing, now he'll be like, okay, the reason why I lost extra weight this day is because of this. But he's not gonna, you know. So he's still doing his regular cardio every day. He likes to control all the variables, so he doesn't think that the diet is a problem if it was just because he was busy that day. That makes sense. If you just want to track shit just to be smarter in your approach, but not to replace cardio. I don't like that idea.
We're on the same page. I rest my case.
Well, I want to be honest, man. For me, like, say you look at your little watch or whatever, and it says you have like fucking 3,000 or not 3,000, let's say 2,000 steps left, and it's like the end of the night. You're like, fuck, I really gotta get up and go walk around the block a couple fucking times. Like, I'd rather just have my little time that I'm supposed to do it, get it done in that time, and then carry on.
And then fuck off. Yeah. And where am I getting these steps at? Like, I'm a bodybuilder. What the fuck do I be doing? Like, I'm not going to the mall.
I don't do shit. You know? So like, I'm gonna be walking around the block. Like, look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that came the last 2 weeks before prep, before competition, sometimes my legs would be too sore to do the stairs, so I would just take a 2-hour walk and count it as cardio. That makes sense. I'll be exhausted, so it really counts. It really counts. That makes sense. But I don't do that until I'm sore, like really, really sore. You know.
That makes sense. When I got up to doing in the beginning of prep, I don't do cardio on leg days, like the heavy quad day. But deep in prep, I just need the cardio. So I'll do cardio on quad day, but it's gonna be the intensity is gonna be way down. I'm not gonna be on a 10 incline going 3.5. I'm gonna be like at a 5 incline doing 2.8, just because the legs are gonna be fucking dead. So on a hard leg day, steps could make sense, or like just like softer cardio. That makes sense because the legs are fucked up.
The hardest cardio sessions I ever did on the Stairmaster was the day after a leg day. Like your legs are so fucked up and they're so heavy and weak and try to do that shit for a long duration of time.
I was after 30 minutes, you just don't feel anything anymore.
Yeah, bro.
You lose.
You become numb to humanity.
What I always do is I get like a towel and I put it on the Stairmaster so I can't even see the time. And I make sure I don't look at the time before I even start. I don't look at my phone's time. I just put it there, and 30 minutes you're numb. You don't even feel, by 30 minutes you don't even feel it. You're just like you're just a prisoner on the thing, you know.
I fucking hate when I'm on the stairs, I'm doing that, right? I'll put my shirt on or a towel or something. Yeah. And a song comes on, and I know how long that song is. I'm like, fuck! I'm like, it's only gonna be 4 minutes.
I was just gonna say that. That's what I go with is songs. Yeah, like I'll finish an album and then maybe take a peek or something.
Yeah.
Early in the prep, I might watch YouTube videos or even a TV show or something. But later in prep, I can't focus, so I'll put something on. And I can't focus. So the only thing I could focus on is like, I think we talked about Machiavelli Motivation or something, or Kevin Levrone, Maryland Muscle Machine. I could focus on that. Anytime I see Kevin getting busy with that Creed on, that shit, it gives me that extra boost to the cardio. I don't know why Kevin in particular. I don't know what about Kevin, but something about that's my most watched bodybuilding video, Maryland Muscle Machine. For whatever reason, man. 100-pound dumbbell curls in your face. 100-pound dumbbell curls in your face.
He's a legend. I mean, yeah.
100-pound dumbbell curls in your face.
Mine's overkill. Mine's overkill.
You did overkill?
Overkill. I've watched that like 100 times because how Kai is feeling in that place, I'm sure I'm not even close to that and how I'm feeling, but I feel like I'm there too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I can feel that energy, you know? Like, yeah. Overkill is. I love that documentary. I should probably watch that shit tomorrow.
when Kai stops talking, shit is real. Shit is real. You know, it's like for me, when I'm in the gym, you know, I'm always talking, like, or people were talking to me or whatever the case. So once like I stop talking, everybody's like, "Uh-oh, what the fuck?" He ain't said one word the whole day. That's when you're in that zone. You're not here to talk no more, man. That's crunch time now.
I really like the Battle for the Olympia 03. That's a really good one.
That's a good one too. Oof. That's a good one.
It highlights all the stars who's doing this show. You know, so that was a really nice thing to see.
That's all I could watch in prep, bro. My brain can't focus on anything like with a story or anything. It got to just be like either bodybuilding videos or that's it. But pretty much bodybuilding videos
or just shit TV. I never thought I'd see myself. I started watching 90 Day Fiance on because it's the only thing my brain could handle, bro. Just like garbage TV, you know?
Damn, bro.
I gotta check that out.
All right.
I watched Love Island with my girl. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
No, the one that's addictive. What's that shit? Blind. Love is Blind. That shit is addictive as fuck.
Yeah.
I would walk back and forth. Like with my ex, I would walk back and forth and talk shit. Oh my, this bullshit. Oh, fucking bullshit. And I come back the third time, I'm like, oh shit. Okay. What happened to Johnny? And the next thing you know, you end the fucking show, bro.
Isn't it weird how you get fucking invested like that? Like, and when like say someone like fucking does someone dirty, like why the fuck they do that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with them? They don't know what they
I knew it. I knew it that whole time. She was trying to fuck this shit up. I knew it the whole time.
I told you that bitch was shady.
Yo, you get so invested, man. All right, let's do like a couple more. Do you guys find sports massages useful? Does it help with scar tissue?
Like deep tissue massages?
Yeah, like deep tissue.
Because sport is very different from deep tissue. Yeah, so deep tissue for sure. I wish I could do it more often, but the guy I use, shout out to Squatty Koala. He's actually a strong man. Yeah, that's
Squatty Koala.
Squatting Koala. He's a strong man.
Oh,
but he's a massage therapist. So this guy, when I do the appointments, he fucks me up. I can't even train for 3 days straight. So like if I do it consistently, I feel like I lose out on a lot of training. So I do it like once a month. I should probably do more, but man, it's a little tough. But it definitely, long story short, it works. It works. Get a little more blood flow to the area. I used to have like, I remember there was a time last year on my elbow here. I don't know if it was tendonitis or whatever. It was just tight all the time. And he noticed it was actually coming from my tricep. And he worked on that. And dude, I was good as new. So it works. Definitely works.
Yeah, that elbow thing, same thing happened to me. It happens with my knees as well. It's like my quads are stuck to my knees. And that's also part of why I don't have really good teardrops. I have good sweeps, but no teardrops because I'm not activating my teardrop if it's fucking glued to my knees. But then it was creating a tightness, and I was like, yo, is it really my knees? But it's like, it's kind of my knees, but it's kind of my lower quad. So once they get that out, my knees felt better. Same with the elbow. I'm like, it feels like I have elbow pain, but I touch my tricep, like the bottom part. I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like my triceps are like pulling on my elbow or something. And then once that got released, I was good to go. You know, it's just making the commitment, first of all, for the financially. And then also, sometimes I have to drive, depending on who I'm going to, an hour. I would drive to Venice, so I would drive to Buena Park, because you want it to be somebody good, not just pull up to anybody. So I'm taking a long drive, and I'm paying, I don't know, anywhere from 100 to 150 per session. The shit adds up, man.
Yeah, so if you're in Jersey, Central Jersey, let me know, my guy Vinny, because he'll come to your house. He'll bring the table, everything. He'll come to your house and do it there. So if you're in the Central Jersey area, let me know. I'll put you through with Vinny.
Zayd, you know the Queen of Pain? You know Queen of Pain lady that she used to.
No,
she that destination now, but she used to be at Venice, and she would bring the table to your house. So she would come to your house and only charge you like $90, bro. And she was really good. But I think she had like a fetish for like hurting guys or something, because she would overdo it a little bit. She would overdo it, and she would wear like these really. Yeah, exactly. So I think she got off on it, which is not okay. But she would come in really like skimpy clothing, her butt cheeks out and shit. And then sometimes she would go way too hard. I'm like, hey, take it easy back there. You know what I'm saying?
Back there where?
If you just cut that clip right there, that's gonna get some views for you, baby.
Where's she going, bro?
Yeah, I get it. There. I get it. You have to go like hard to really get it out. But sometimes I'm like, I shouldn't feel like I got hit by a car like a week later. I would be like in pain. Like in pain during is one thing. In pain afterwards is another thing. Oh, I don't want her business to sound bad. She's really good at what she does. She's at the Destination Dallas now. So definitely go see her. But she's gonna. I don't know. Does she sound bad? I don't know if I made her sound bad. Is that fucked up?
No, that's fine. No, that's not fucked up at all. I get it. Because that's what Vinny does to me. Like, that's why I said I can't do it consistently, because he fucks me up like really bad. and I'm out of training for like 2-3 days, but it works. I just can't do it consistently,
Yeah.
So
But
I
to
get
answer
that.
the question, dude, I do get it every week. I have an appointment and I stay true to that because if you're shooting too much, and our cycles are fucking crazy, you're gonna build up scar tissue everywhere. So if you
Yeah.
commit to having a really good physique, you have to scrape that shit off. Otherwise, you will lose detail in the muscle, in my opinion. So that scar tissue needs to come and go, basically. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you get it scraped weekly, you won't build up any scar tissue. And I committed like literally every single week. On Wednesdays, I would go get a 2 hour deep tissue or 2 hour of scraping with other like cupping and full adjustment. I have a guy I work with here in North Hollywood,
Which one?
and
Who?
his name is he's an Armenian guy. He really is really good. PhD, Dr. G. I'll give you his address and phone number if you want. Oh, his work is called Cryo Lounge LA in
Okay.
in
Okay.
in close to the North Hollywood area, and he's really
Mhm.
good, dude. I work with him, and he helped me a lot with certain issues, but it's a very good investment to get if you are someone who's trying to turn pro or are currently a pro. It's a very important to take care of this thing so you can continue to grow and stay safe.
What if you're not a pro or not competing to be a pro? What if you just a guy who competes at local shows?
I would still get it once a month. You know,
I'm just
I would
fucking.
still
I'm
get
just fucking with you. Did everybody go? Everybody answer?
Yeah.
Everybody? Did you
Joe,
say?
what
Did you
about
answer,
Joe?
Joe?
Did I don't think Joe went, did he?
What
Joe don't get no
questions?
massage. Oh, do you?
Yeah, he definitely doesn't do that shit, bro.
I actually have a guy. His name's Anthony at Ant Cave.
Oh, for real? You
He's
serious?
legit. Yeah.
Oh, you get massage work done?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm
I didn't.
surprised, Joe. I'll be
I didn't
honest.
think you.
What the fuck?
You should.
What?
Yeah,
Why? I just need to know why. Why?
because Joe be like this. Joe be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought Joe look like he does this when he gets shoulder pain. He be like this.
As I'm on the podcast, you guys see me fucking with my bicep. I'm like, yeah, I think I need him to work on that.
Oh, he's on the chair. He's doing this.
Yeah.
On the chair.
I thought that was his massage work. Joe be like this. He trying to get that knot out.
That works.
Yeah.
It works.
He doing
Old
this.
school.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was like, I was real tight.
Oh man,
I really do though. And for USA's, I got work done every single week. Every single week.
Damn.
And off season is I try my best to get it done twice a month. If I can. Once a month at least. But yeah, for preps, I want everything firing on all cylinders. So
that's fair.
That's the
right,
right
let's do
way.
one more. One more?
Yeah.
Yo, I'm not hungry. I haven't ate, and I'm still not hungry.
I ate right before fucking getting on this shit.
I haven't ate anything all day.
What?
I also woke up at like 11 o'clock.
It's crazy how big you can still be like this and with lower calories. That's
man,
actually a blessing.
He had
It's a blessing.
Today in low in calorie.
Yeah, that carrot cake is holding me over.
Calories in, calories out, bro. It helps.
I had that damn mosquito burger yesterday.
Bro, that's fucking insane to me, man.
That shit look fucked up, bro. But I mean, hey, but you see that white guy sitting there eating it, he's like, I'm like, don't pretend like that shit tastes good, bro. You know that shit
nasty looking.
Right,
you can't pay me to shit like that, bro. I can't.
Nah.
No one can see my ass.
Yeah, fuck that. All right. Last one. We're gonna make it an interesting one. You guys ever used fake gear before? No?
No. Maybe underdosed, but not fake. I tried that the WLP. Remember the one you were talking about? He used to send me shit too, and shit, dude. I think it was not fake, but I think it was underdosed because it's just I don't know. I didn't feel it as much because once I switched, I felt the difference. You know,
they didn't give you the same shit they was giving to Levroni and Cali Muscle and shit.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
They gave us a different one, but when they first started, it was good. But of course, they're gonna give you the good ones in the beginning, and that shit went down to the orals at some point. I don't even know. It might have been baking soda in that bitch, but the orals wasn't hitting. Larry wasn't using their orals. He was using some other brand. He told me at the time because obviously whatever Larry was taking was real, motherfucker. so, but yeah,
definitely underdosed.
I guess if you took like fake Primo, you probably wouldn't know, unless you would look fat, or something. But you probably wouldn't know. Ken, you ever use fake gear?
No, I wouldn't say fake, just bad. I'd say bad gear. Just like you ever had a bottle where just like you just get knots every single time, no matter what.
Yes, for sure.
That I have.
Yeah.
Blends do that.
Who?
Blends. I noticed that blends. If you have a blend or something, it does that.
I don't like blends.
Yes. So that's the only thing. But I've never had like fake.
I did. My first cycle was fake. Some guy at the gym. I actually met him I used to work at the Marriott Hotel and where they have the New York Pro. And I met him at the New York Pro, I believe, or the University, one of those shows at work. And he came and he was talking to us and he was like, yeah, I just started my cycle, this, that, or that. And I was like, I think I want to do a cycle too. So I met up with him. He even though he was in Jersey, he lives in the Bronx where I was living at the time. And I got a bottle of test from him. And the first time I shot, he told me that it's probably gonna get sore, it's gonna hurt a little bit. No problem. I shoot the first shot, and the next day, my quad was like Nexzilla's quad, just my right one. I had like a baby quad and a Nexzilla quad on the other one. And I'm like, yo, this can't be normal. I couldn't bend my knee. I couldn't train. I was like, this is not good. But of course, my dumb ass did it again. I mean, I'm 19 at the time, so I'm not very smart. So I did it again. Same shit happens. I start like moving it around. Same thing keeps happening. I kept doing it because I had to see it through and make sure that it was real, So by like 4 weeks, everybody said by 3 weeks, it should hit you hard. The first time you should feel it. By third week on test E, you should be like, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't feel anything. So I kind of figured out it was fake. So I don't know what I was shooting into my leg, but I just had swollen ass legs for like 3 weeks. So careful where you get your stuff from, kids. You don't want to be like me.
What's funny about that story to me is it was your first cycle and you decided to go with quads.
That's nuts.
No, bro, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I to this day haven't put shit in my quads. Fuck that.
Like, what the
fuck? I tried it once, dude. It was a killer. No,
I would never.
That's what guys in the Bronx was doing at the time. So I was just going with the Bronx ways. That's what everybody was going in the quads. So it didn't work out too well for me.
Yeah, I've hit quads and it hasn't been a problem. What I noticed though is I felt like when I would do heavy leg days, I don't know. I felt like the muscle there was weaker, man. I just felt like it just because I started to have like when I would squat, it would almost feel like the muscle there where you hit was kind of just like tearing or just weaker. And I was like, nah, screw this. I'm not doing it no more.
That's my biggest fear, especially like Zay talked about scar tissue, right? That means that's gonna like almost like leather out your fucking fascia, and you can't stretch it as far, so you're gonna eventually tear it. So I don't even like doing my lats because of like on those heavy movements, right? When it stretches you out, if it stretches you a little too far, that scar tissue doesn't allow to stretch. Like you're gonna tear your lats. So I don't like doing my lats really either.
The truth is, yeah, anywhere you shoot is gonna be more prone to tearing. You remember when Jay tore his bicep?
Yeah.
That same off season, he had these pictures that were going viral, and it was like, look at his bicep. It looks like he's been pinning his biceps, right? He's admitted to it that he's done like extra clean or whatever case. But I think that year was the first year he worked with Hani, and I felt like that year there was definitely something in his bicep. Oh no, that was the second year he worked with Hani. But it looked like there was something definitely in his bicep that year, and then the tour and a photo shoot. So I don't think that's a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? I think shooting an area is going to be more prone, but you got to shoot somewhere. Just I would rather it be a muscle. It's hard to tear your shoulder, right? You're not going to tear your side delt, right? So if you pin your side delt, probably be fine. But your bicep is something that can tear easily, you know. So if you're going to pin your bicep, you got to understand that it could, you know, same with quad. We see, you know, pec tears, we see bicep tears, we see quad tears. You don't see shoulder tears. You don't see lat tears is rare, but it's possible.
Glute tear?
Yeah, glute tears, you know. you don't want that.
It's hard to tear the upper portion of your glute, though.
Yeah, it'll be hard unless you're getting work done by Queen of Pain. She might tear you the fucking glute.
Hey,
she about to lose her clients. But I didn't say her real name. I didn't say her real name, so anybody could be Queen of Pain at Destination Dallas. All right, gentlemen. I think that's a wrap. But stay on. I think I wanted to say something. So, all right, peace out, people. Hopefully, you guys like the podcast. All right, peace.
Peace out.